Welcome back to Girls Next Level, everybody. We're excited to be here to talk about the We Can Work It Out episode because it's a spicy one.
Oh my God, people have been waiting for this one for so long. And honestly, so have I.
It's something else. When I was doing my YouTube rewatch, I remember when I got to this one, I was like, oh, whoa, I didn't remember all that about this episode.
I was looking forward to it. In fact, I watched this one a little bit ahead of time than I normally would because I was like...
You've been hearing all the hype on it.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to remember what happened on that. And it was sort of foggy. Like, of course I remember, but I was like, I didn't remember all the details and stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of health and fitness, I did my first cold plunge the other day.
How was it?
It was actually, like, this is something, like, so outside my comfort zone, but I wanted to do it, like, to try it. It was actually, like, I did 3 minutes, which is, like, really good for a first time, apparently. Yeah. Okay. And it was so fucking cold. I felt like I got thrown off the Titanic. And when you get in, like, you have to, like, submerge yourself, like, up to your neck. And and my friend was there, like, and he does it every day. And he was, like, helping me through it. And I was like, I can't breathe. Is this normal? Because, like, of course I could breathe, but it just feels like you have a huge weight on your chest. And it feels like it's, like, hard to take a full breath. So you really have to, like, concentrate on your breathing.
Oh, my God.
And then I, like, went straight into the sauna after. But the thing about it is you feel so good afterwards. Like, I was so fucking energized.
Wow.
I had the best sleep of my life that night. Like, I want to do it again.
That's so interesting. Like, I know people who do it, but I just haven't done it. Like, even our pool, like, I feel like our pool right now is a cold plunge. And I have to, like, put a toe in, and then I'm like, no. And then, like, I'll stand on the first step until my ankles get warm. And then I'm like, on the next step. Like, I'm, like, one of those people that I'm not going to just jump in the pool. No way.
Yeah, I had to step down into it, but I tried to do it as quickly as I could because I'm going to lose my nerve if I don't.
Yeah. Like, I feel all the feels. Like, it's like, ow. Even though it's not ow, it's ow.
And you know what's really interesting is he says that wherever on your body it feels the most painful, not that I was, like, in pain, but, like, where you can feel it the most, that's where you have the most inflammation in your body. And mine was my wrists.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
So I have high inflammation, and I think it's more like my fibroids and stuff like that, but I would love to, that makes me want to try it.
Well, no, I was going to say, I think you'd like it because you're the one who's always into, like, the Daredevil stuff. And I feel like...
Yeah, I mean, I would try it for that purpose. I don't know if I will like it, but I would try it.
You should do it and vlog it.
Were you in a bikini? Like, did you do it in a bathing suit or something?
Yeah.
A wetsuit?
No, wetsuits keep you too warm.
I know.
Speaking of wetsuits, my kids have surf camp this summer, and getting a child into a wetsuit is, like, the hardest thing.
Getting myself into a wetsuit is the hardest.
It's so hard. Like, there'll be times, like, I'll have my kids, they put their feet in, and then, like, I'm pulling the wetsuit up, and, like, and I pull them. Like, the entire child goes off the ground, and I'm, like, shaking them into the wetsuit.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Yeah, they're tough.
I know. It's so crazy. And then, like, getting them out of the wetsuits and, like, washing the wetsuit. It's a whole thing.
It's a pain. Do you remember when we did our scuba diving episode in Catalina and they got us a hotel room so that we could change?
Yeah.
And we took off all our wetsuit stuff and we're, like, trying to wash it in the bathtub and everything. And they were like, oh, just leave everything in there. We'll grab it all for you guys. Because we had to go film the next scene. We never got our diving equipment back.
Oh, were we supposed to keep all that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was custom for us.
Oh, man. Dang.
I know.
And it's supposed to be really bad for wetsuits if you don't, like, rinse them off right away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to do it. And I could have used that on my beaches show after
100%. When we did the scuba diving, that was the only time I've ever felt true claustrophobia in my life. Because you're in this tight wetsuit and you're walking in deeper and deeper. And I was just like, I had to, like, pause for a second. I was like, whoa, this is what actual claustrophobia feels like the panic.
Yeah, but you know why, too? Because, so I've gone diving where I'm just in, you know, a bikini and stuff like that. But for that, we had to wear that dry suit underneath with like the thing that goes over your face, like the whole thing, it zips all the way up under your chin. Only this much is like out of your face. And then you have the regulator in your mouth and the goggles on and all that heavy shit on your back. And then you're walking in the water and the water's like pressing against you. And it's just, and it's, that water's freezing in Catalina. Not to mention there's tons of great whites out there.
Oh, man.
And they love exactly where we were out in the like kelp forest.
Oh man, that's funny because I had no idea it was like a dangerous place to
And
yeah, let's go.
For the fun of it, I'm just going to throw this in there. Aliens, too. They live underwater there.
Whoa, my God. I wish you would have seen one.
No, for real, people, like, no, I don't know that it's for real, but people have said that they see alien UFO craft go under the water there and come out of the water there. Like, that's one of the, like, known places where, like, they're hiding.
We were close to the fire.
I think so. I don't know if I'm more afraid of running into an alien down there or a shark, a great white.
Oh, I love it. Well, since we can't get on that spacecraft, we're going to get into our grotto time machine. We're talking about a season 2, episode 15. It's called We Can Work It Out. The original air date was November 12th, 2006. The number 1 dance track at the time was Jump by Madonna. On TV, people were watching America's Funniest Home Videos and Desperate Housewives. I remember when we did our very first promo shoot for Girls Next Door, I feel like they were trying to dress us as like Desperate Housewives. Like, remember that Desperate Housewife Vanity Fair cover?
Yeah.
I feel like that was the look they were going to, and I didn't like it. I felt like it was too old for us, and I was complaining to Hef about it. And of course, he doesn't want us looking old. So he's like, wow, we need to redo this. I went with number 1 on the dance charts today because the number 1 song, like we've talked about like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, it's like still Justin Timberlake. This was like the Justin Timberlake era. And I still like, I hate all his solo stuff because it just reminds me of like Bad Times at the Mansion for some reason. For some reason, I correlate like the Mean Girls era and like going out to clubs with like Justin Timberlake solo.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, and I just felt like the Mean Girls were very obsessed with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, for sure. They wanted him.
Yeah, I think it's because he was at the mansion a few times, so they thought that meant he was accessible.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It just gives me vibes of them like thinking they had a chance or something with Justin Timberlake. Oh, like we went to his birthday party and stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like I just feel like there were opportunities that we didn't have like with other celebrities that we kind of had with Justin Timberlake that they thought they could glom onto it and make something out of it. And I'm thinking, no.
Did you remember when we were going over that Mean Girl book and you told me that they said at the end, when they were all thinking that their time was pretty much over, 2 of the Mean Girls were like trying to devise a plan to get with Donald Trump?
Yes. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about it. No, but they were. They had a whole
that was
plan.
like their plan.
They had a whole plan.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
Speaking of Mean Girls, though, they have Mean Girls creamer right now from the movie, and it's pink, and it tastes like pink frosting, they said. I think it sort of tastes a little strawberry-ish, which is kind of weird in my coffee, but it's supposed to taste like pink frosting, whatever that should taste like. And I got it just to try it for fun.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun thing. Pink creamer.
Yeah.
What was the number 1 movie?
Oh, I didn't do number 1 movie this week, I think, because it was like the same as last week.
Oh, okay.
Which I don't remember what that was. Oh, no, it's the same as what we're going to talk about next week with the Vegas episode. It's a cartoon movie with penguins. I forget what it's called. Happy Feet.
Happy Feet.
Yeah.
My sister loved that movie.
Oh, my kids have like discovered it on streaming.
Yeah, love. Before we get into this episode, I want to ask you a question. Do you know where this whole idea even came from for this episode, for a workout video for us?
I don't know for a fact, but my impression was that the Body by Jake company, which is called Exercise TV, right?
Yes.
Was just like interested in doing a Girls Next Door workout. Like, I really do not think this is, it definitely wasn't any of our ideas. I don't think it's anything Kevin would have had the wherewithal or Playboy would have had the wherewithal to reach out and be like, let's do this for these girls. Cause they didn't really do that kind of thing for us.
And you don't think it had anything to do with like, Dick Rosenswag or, Jason Burns, like with the Altaloma?
I think it probably came through those guys, but my impression was that the request came from Exercise TV. I don't know that for a fact, but that was kind of my impression.
Interesting.
But I do know that sometimes Dick and Jason were trying to come up with ideas for us. Remember when they wanted us to do like a quote unquote Girls Next Door soundtrack? So we were all putting lists together of our favorite songs.
Yes.
And then that didn't come to be because that doesn't really make any sense, but
Yeah, I just know Jason Burns. And if you guys, just to tell you who he is, he's not related to Kevin Burns in any way. Weird coincidence. But he worked for Alta Loma, which is the Playboy production company. And right about this time is when I start doing what's called the Mansion Minute as well. So Jason asked me if I would do like a 1-minute recap of what our week was like every week, once a week. And
for Playboy Radio, right?
No, it was for Playboy Online.
Oh, okay.
And I was very hit and miss about it. He was always bugging me. But I had the same problem back then that I do now. Like, it's really hard. They didn't give me like a professional lighting or area to do it. So I just had to like set like this weird camera on my desk and like sit on the floor. And I felt they were not like attractive.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't very good video of myself. And then I don't know, I just felt like a minute was hard to kind of sum up everything that was going on at the mansion in a week. And it was just silly stuff like, oh, this week we went to the club and we went here for dinner and there was this party going on and this party going on and that kind of stuff. And I was already kind of doing that for my radio show. So like, and I'm not sure if I'm doing my radio show yet at this point or not, but it's coming soon. It's right in this area.
It's on the horizon.
But it's interesting because I found I would do a whole rundown for the Mansion Minute, just like I do for my radio show and now I do for the podcast and stuff. But I had like the Mansion Minute rundown and I found those coming up in my scrapbooks.
Well, that should help you with timeline piecing stuff together too, because it's like a journal.
Yeah, except for I wasn't very consistent about them. But I'll if I remember to, I'll post those on our Patreon so you guys can kind of see.
Fun. I like that. I'm glad we saved so much stuff.
Oh my God.
I mean, granted, now I wish I would have saved everything because how could I have ever known it would have come in handy for something like this? But I'm glad we both saved so much stuff.
Yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Nurex. You guys know that 2 things I'm obsessed with are beauty and time management. I have a busy schedule and I have to keep everything aligned. So one of my favorite new hacks is to get my prescription face cream from Nurex. It was super easy. I just hopped online, got it through Nurex. I didn't have to find a new dermatologist or drive all the way across town or fit an appointment into my busy schedule. It really just made my life so much easier and my skin looks great and I couldn't be happier.
Nurex's licensed medical providers possess in-depth knowledge and are there to help women take control of their healthcare journey. No more one-size-fits-all approaches, only effective, tailored solutions. Nurex's providers have expertise in treating a wide range of reproductive and sexual healthcare needs. To date, Nurex has served more than 1.6 million birth control patients in the U.S. Nurex is convenient, private, and compassionate. Nurex provides reliable reproductive and sexual healthcare, no judgment or stigma attached. Nurex makes it easier for women to take charge of their sexual and reproductive health with comprehensive treatment options and quality integrated care all in one place. Thanks to Nurex for sponsoring this podcast. Taking control of your reproductive health starts here. Go to Nurex.com/nextlevel to get started. That's NURX.com/nextlevel. Results may vary, not offered in every state. Medications prescribed only if clinically appropriate. Consultation required.
Do you have your workout outfits from this episode?
Well, I was only given one outfit.
Oh, me too.
Like, I know I had 3 mock-ups and we're going to post those on Patreon, like the designs.
Yeah.
But they only gave us, I think, 1 each.
Yeah.
And then I didn't keep mine just because it was activewear that I genuinely wore a lot. And I didn't keep a lot of that casual wear just because it got old and gross and wore out. And I wasn't thinking of it as anything special. It wasn't like the party outfits that I'm like, okay, I'm going to preserve these because they're memorable.
Yeah. I'm wondering, I know that I wore them to actually work out in later on, but I'm wondering if I still have them. Like, I don't know for sure. I don't know the answer to it, but I feel like I possibly might still have them in storage somewhere. But part of me thinks that maybe I got rid of them for the same reason. Like, it's just sort of casual stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that it was like a one-off.
I know. I wish I still had mine.
Yeah. Anyway.
But there we go.
So this episode starts out in front of the mansion, like usual, cut straight down to the gym.
And then you see a real rare sight.
I was going to say, and then we see a Sasquatch sighting. No, I'm just kidding. It's Holly.
Like, damn, I must have looked rough in that scene.
It's Holly on the elliptical. And you rewind it because you won't see that very often.
The only time you'll ever see that. Yeah, like I probably worked out a couple times a week, but it was not anything I was passionate about. I was more into like body sculpting, which as you'll see in the workout video, I mean, I just didn't really need to work out then. I didn't have any health concerns. I was in my early 20s. So, but like maybe once or twice a week, I'd make it down to do some cardio.
Yeah.
Just because I felt like I should, but rare sight. And we're talking about how we have this amazing opportunity come our way that we're going to be able to do this workout video. And it's another example of us attributing our success and our opportunities that we get to do to being in the magazine. Because I say something in voiceover, or one of us says something in voiceover to the effect of, ever since we've been on the cover of the magazine, we've had so many opportunities. And of course, that's not why. Like a Playboy cover on its own is not going to get you things. It's because we're on a TV show, but we can't say that because this is the show and that's too meta.
Right.
So here we are.
And then it shows me in the gym on the treadmill, and in interview, I say, I got lots of emails asking me what I do to stay in shape. And I'm really proud of what I do because I think I work really hard. And that's true. Like I used to get, I'm sure you got them too. I know Kendra got them, emails or like MySpace messages or however we were getting our information at that point in time. Like, what do you girls do to stay in shape? Like, so it was actually a really good idea, I think, for them to want to do a workout video with us.
Oh, yeah, totally. I think it was on brand. I think it was good. You know what else I want to say about this episode before we get too far in is even the cold open. It's a lot like the last episode we watched, the rabbit season episode, where the episode is about one thing. There's no separate cold open. There's no subplots. And am I crazy? But I like this format better. It doesn't necessarily make a better episode. Like my favorite episodes of this season are Dog Birthday and Girls Will Be Ghouls, which aren't necessarily that consistent. But I think I always craved substance so much more on this show that the fact that we have a topic that's good enough, it can take up a whole episode. Like I love that format. I don't necessarily think it makes a better episode because it depends on what the content is, but I'm kind of like crushing on that format. I'm not going to lie.
It's funny. I think I have the opposite take so on it. I think I like a little bit of distraction. Like I like a little B story going on, even if it's something silly, like the cat's at the groomer or something like that. Like I like a little bit of distraction to be like, what else is going on at this time? Yeah. You know, instead of, even if it's not truly what's going on.
That's so funny.
Back to the scene. Then they showed the same old scene of Kendra on the treadmill again. I mean, how many times have they used this now?
Season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, but this is like the third or fourth time, maybe even more, that they've shown her in this same exact outfit on the same exact day, doing the same exact workout to prove that she's the workout one.
It's stock footage at this point.
Yeah, it's so crazy. In an interview, Kendra says, I love it. I love working out, and I feel like this is my thing.
Well, no, I feel like this is my thing.
Yes. Yes, which that's important to drive home because that's what she's really pushing in this. I feel like I've worked my whole life to do a workout video. Shaking my ass is the number one workout for me because it's good squats and good cardio and it keeps you fit. And I know what they're doing right here. They put it in here and that part of the interview, and they're making her so adamant about it. Not that they made her do that. I think she did that on her own because I think she truly did believe this is her episode. But they're doing it to set her up to fail. They know. They already know once this is in edit that she is not going to, spoiler, sorry you guys, to do so well at this. And they are really pushing like how confident she is that she will.
Yeah, because usually, and I know a lot of you don't agree with me on this, but I usually feel like Kendra gets the hero edit more often than not. But one thing Kevin loved to have a chuckle about, and one thing Kendra hated, is her being bombastic about like her athletic prowess, and then they only show her bloopers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this episode's going to go a little bit differently than what they usually do because it's more involved. But this is like a rare time when they're kind of like setting her up to fail.
Well, I also think they're setting me up to fail too.
100%.
Because I say that I'm really proud of myself for what I do and I work really hard and stuff. And I think they have that in there on purpose because they're going to make me look like they're going to fat shame me in this episode. Basically.
But you know what is just glorious? You're on the treadmill and your boobs are bouncing. It's a sight. I wish my boobs bounced that much.
I didn't even know this. I say I'm really proud of what I do, but they're trying to make it look like I shouldn't be. That's what I think right there.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then Kendra is saying, this is my thing, but she's gonna fail at it the hardest, even though she's pushing that this should be her thing. And I also thought something that was very interesting with this line right here. Sorry, I'm really analyzing it because I just felt like there was so much right here. I feel like also with Kendra really emphasizing this is my thing, it shows how hard we were all struggling to have our thing.
A niche. Yeah. I feel like that was one of the hard parts about being part of a group and like learning to share is I feel like this plays into a lot of the drama and nastiness that continues in the Playboy world to this day, which of course I'm a part of as well. But I feel like not everyone, I feel like there's a lot of like people who aren't necessarily that focused on attention that kind of found Playboy somehow. But I feel like if you want to pose nude in a magazine back when that was kind of like a spicy thing to do, you want attention. I know I did. In some way, you want attention. You want to be seen. You literally want to be seen. And I feel like when this place attracts so many people who don't feel seen and are desperate to feel seen, and competition enters the fray, or people being pit against each other enters the fray, it can be long lasting. It can be nasty. It can be deeply hurtful to everybody's insecurities.
Yeah.
And I do feel like on this show, we each, not that we can't share the spotlight. I feel like you and I were very good at doing that, but we did at the same time want to have our own, like dig our heels in and like at least have our own little corner. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I think that if Kendra had her way, it would have just been her doing the workout video.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she thought that strongly. This is just my opinion, but I felt like she felt that strongly that this was her thing and should only be her thing. And like, obviously they wanted all three of us and we all three bring something totally different to the table for it. And I think it worked out great like that. But like, I know where she's coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause I'm sure that's happened to both of us at some point too, where we felt like we were bringing a plot line to the table that was our thing. And like, maybe we would do that in the episode and other people would have their own subplots, but Kevin would insist we all three have to do it together. Like, I remember when I wanted to do babysitting with Treese, like I felt like I'm the one who's like trying to be a mom right now. And Kevin was like, oh, I love that idea. 3 girls and a baby. And I'm like, can I ever get a plot line? Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we all felt that way sometime.
Yeah. I was curious too, before we move on, how did you feel about doing the workout video? Like, were you excited going into it? Were you like, eh?
It's definitely not my wheelhouse as far as like, athleticism or wanting to do a workout video for the sake of doing a workout video. But what I was very, very into at this time and very involved in was our merchandising. I tried to have my hand in everything. When the first round of Girls Next Door merch came out, they just made that and here, wear that for the catalog. Like, they didn't even consult us or anything. But I was the one getting like the bobbleheads off the ground and like the Girls Next Door coffee table book and things like that. Like, I was so into that.
Yeah.
So I really dove into this project from that perspective. Like, I think I even had something to do with like trying to get our workout line off the ground, which that never happened with Playboy licensing, but they did make us the samples to wear. And, as you can see later in the episode, like I'm kind of like leading the meeting. And obviously the 3 of us have met and talked about it and decided we wanted to do our own segments and not be the 3 of us standing there like doing Jane Fonda style. Because that's probably what they pictured. I bet they pictured the 3 of us standing there goofing off, doing aerobics together. And that's not what any of us wanted to do.
Yeah. For me, I was super excited. I mean, I know Kendra kind of thought of this as her thing, but I really felt like I can see why she thought it was her thing because she's sporty and she dances good and everything. But for me, I had done workout videos for years. And it was like my core thing that I used to do working out, before I lived at the mansion. Even when I did live at the mansion, I had tons of workout tapes in my room. I'd actually done tapes by Body by Jake. Like, it was sort of my thing. I was all into Taebo back in the day. So I really felt like this was sort of my thing too.
Did you ever do the Cindy Crawford workout?
No, but I did Buns of Steel like crazy. Like, that tape probably is worn completely thin. I did definitely the Body by Jake's. I was all into Taebo.
We have the Cindy Crawford workout at my house. And I remember I used to kind of do that. Like, I don't remember how old I was, like junior high or something. But when I'm thinking back to that workout video, I think it influenced a lot of what I did in this workout video, because her workout video was very body sculpting. It wasn't like aerobics or hard cardio or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was super excited for this opportunity. And even though, you know, Kendra was like, this is my thing, I secretly, I wasn't like pushing it or anything, but I was secretly thinking, it's really my thing too. Like, I feel like this is right in my wheelhouse.
Totally.
Like, I'm excited about this. I'm ready for it. This is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah,
I was very excited.
Can we talk about what I've been using on my body? For real, you guys, we are obsessed with Osea body care products. I've been using the Undaria algae body oil. It smells so good. It's so refreshing. Smells like summer. It has these light notes of mango, grapefruit, mandarin, lime, and cypress. I've also been using the hyaluronic body serum. It makes my skin feel so smooth.
Which, remember how I was saying I was so bummed because my favorite body butter, they don't exist anymore. And I was looking for a new lotion. It's like they heard me here at Osea. I've been using it. And I was also complaining recently about like wanting to tighten up the skin on my legs and everything. I do not know how they do it, but my legs have been looking better than ever since I started using it. Plus, it delivers that coveted post-vacation glow like you just returned from a tropical getaway, and you can't beat that feeling or look. And right now you can get 10% off your first order with code NEXTLEVEL at OseaMalibu.com. I swear since I started using it, my legs look so much more sculpted. They're soft and they're glowing. Plus, we have to mention that Osea is clean, vegan, cruelty-free, and climate-neutral certified. And Osea is women-founded and led and has made clean, clinically proven seaweed-infused skincare for over 28 years. Get healthy, glowing skin for summer with clean, vegan skin and body care from Osea. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code NEXTLEVEL at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to OSEAMalibu.com and use code NEXTLEVEL for 10% off.
So the next scene is us coming downstairs to the Great Hall, and we're meeting the workout video people, Andrea, Kendall, and Violet. Andrea was the businesswoman there. Kendall and Violet were the trainers we were going to work with. And I am Ed Hardy'd out.
Oh, I have it in my notes somewhere in here. We clearly have just recently gone to the Ed Hardy store because all of a sudden, all we wear is the Ed Hardy stuff. And from head to toe, it's so silly.
Yeah, this is the start of the Ed Hardy era. I have a bright yellow Ed Hardy hoodie. Later on in my interview, I'm wearing a pink cashmere Ed Hardy. It's all Ed Hardy. And the guy who did Ed Hardy, his name was Christian Audiger, and he had just come to town and opened this big boutique on Melrose, and his whole thing was gifting celebrities.
Yeah.
So we went there and they loaded us the fuck up. And people make fun of it now because it's so of an era, but they had some cute shit too. Like, I still remember I had this like zip up, like white cashmere hoodie that I loved. Like, I would probably still wear if I had it today. But anyhow, I remember having to do this segment with him. It was some publicity thing. I forget what it was. I think it was for like British TV or something, where I was giving him a tour of the mansion, and they wanted to set up this fake storyline where they were doing this documentary on him, and it was all about Christian Audiger coming to LA and like trying to be a Hollywood fixture. And they wanted, like, obviously that's somebody that Hef would probably invite to the parties or could get on the list, but they wanted to set up a scene where like he's really trying to get accepted into the parties, but I'm supposed to act like, I don't know. We'll see. And I'm supposed to like snob him off a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But it's a joke thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
no,
like,
actually, it wasn't a joke. Like, I mean, in real life, I'm sure he got invited to the parties. Like, we wouldn't have snobbed him off like that. But on the documentary, like, I never saw the finished product, but they were serious. They wanted to make it look like he had real stakes and he was like,
they need that drama for the show. A couple of things that we say in commentary right here too before we move on is that we say that Hef was asking us individually right at this point in time to do Playmate videos. I know we've talked about them before, but like we actually talk about it in commentary that, can you believe you're like, Hef asked me if we would do Playmate videos, and Kendra's like, he asked me too. And I'm like, no, he came and asked me too. Like, we had just had a revelation that he asked us individually to do the Playmate videos, and we were like, no.
And I say in commentary that I said to him, well, I think we'd want to do do them separately. He goes, oh no, well, I think there's no question some of it would have to be together, which I just am grossed out by because I feel like a video of the three of us naked together would look so like pornographic past my comfort zone or what my comfort zone even was back then. But I remember back when he asked me, I was like, no. And I remember he just looked like he got slapped in the face because I'd never said no to anything. But I'd said no stuff before. Like I wouldn't like recruit girls or anything like that. But I hadn't like just straight up said no to something that wasn't like relationship and jealousy related. You know what I mean? Like I think he was okay with me not being a recruiter because it's like, oh, well, she's so in love with me. She can't stand to see me with other girls. You know what I mean? So I could like get away with that. But this was the first time I was like confident enough to say no. And he just looked like he'd been slapped in the face.
Another funny note that I have in here from the commentary is you're commenting on how bright Kendra's sweatshirt is in like the interviews and stuff. Cause it's like neon yellow, like highlighter yellow. And she's like, yeah, well, the producers are always bugging me to wear bright colors in the interview. And I'm like, oh my God, me too. And it just reminded me of this one day I went out to go do my interview and it was out in the game house. So it's kind of a distance for me to like go from my room out there. And I go out there and they're like, we don't really like that shirt. Can you like change shirts? So then I go back in my room and I'm kind of mad or whatever, but I change my shirt and everything. And I go back out and they're like, I think you wore that one in an interview already. Can you change again? And I was so pissed. I go back to my room and I was like, fuck. And I slam my door and one of the producers was like filming something else, like in Kendra's room or something like that. And she was like squatted down in the hall because they always have to like hide in the hall and stuff. She's like squatted down the hall. Her face, she looked like she was so scared. And I just slammed my door so hard and I like saw her out of the corner of my eye in this fit of rage.
Oh my God.
Fuck, and slammed the door.
That's so funny, but I get it because I feel you on that day. Like I'm guessing it was probably you'd had your makeup done. It's a hot ass day. You're sweating every time you walk back and forth and they're like, and
you just run out of ideas for like tops that you want to wear.
Yeah.
It's like, and like, oh, you didn't like the color. Oh, you've already worn that one. Like, oh my God.
And sometimes you'd be seated and they would send a photo to Kevin and he was so picky about these interviews and that never subsided. That kept going to the Holly's World era. And it got to the point where we were shooting the Holly's World confessionals on green screen. And if you're on green screen and you have one little hair that's sticking up and people would try to put it down in a pomade. And I just got to the point where I told producers, I'm like, I'm 100% fine if you just pull the hair out of my head. It's honestly easier.
Yeah.
Because he was so particular about the interviews, which I get to a point because there's a lot of things I love about those confessional interviews. You know, when we look really great or when the backgrounds really express our personalities. Mm-hmm. But he was a little over the top about it to the point where the producers were kind of tortured.
For sure. But I just remember that one scene because I don't feel like I lost my shit like that too often. But like the look on her face, she looked so scared.
She's probably like, what in the fuck just happened?
Yeah. And I remember just being so mad. And for some reason, that little like 10-second memory just like sticks with me every once in a while. Like I remember it and I sort of feel bad for the producer, but then I also feel that anger I still had at that moment. And then I think of the whole thing and how stupid the whole thing is altogether.
Stupid, but I know when you're telling that story, like I just know what it is. I know it's a hot day. You're sweating your makeup off. They're making you go back and forth and you're like, and you know you're going to have to sit in an uncomfortable chair and talk for 3 hours. And it's just like,
yeah. And I spend a lot of time like thinking about what I'm going to wear for this kind of shit. So it's not like I just like pick up the first top that's laying on my floor or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, oh, okay, I'll wear this. And then when they tell you you can't wear that and you don't have a backup, and then the next thing that you pull is not okay either, then it just starts getting really frustrating. And you're like, you know what? Then buy me a bunch of t-shirts that you want me to wear in these interviews and have them lined up.
Yeah.
That's my folly. Anyway, so now we're back. We're in the dining room. And like you said, you're talking to them about, we all obviously already had a meeting about what we want to do.
Do you spy a random thing in the background?
Yes, I was going to ask you about it. Like, where does that come from?
It was a Haunted Mansion bride Halloween prop. She like lights up and stuff. And this was back in the day, like they weren't doing merch at Disney back then like they do now. Like this was the first ever, I think, merch that I'd seen of like the bride. So this was like a really cool thing.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly when we filmed this. Was it like before pumpkin night? Because I don't know if I just plugged it in to see what it would look like, but that's not something Hef would have let me like let live down there. You know what I
Well,
mean?
this would have been in September sometime.
Okay. So I must have just plugged it in to see what it looked like and
Yeah, early September.
forgot about it. But I found pictures, like I was posing for pictures next to it. So clearly I thought it was a big deal. I'll put those up on the Patreon, but it's very random.
Yeah.
I'm surprised production didn't move it because it just looks so out of place.
It
there.
does. I was like, well, what is that? And why is it there?
So I'm sitting at the head of the table. I'm presenting what we had talked about before, that we want to do 3 completely different sections that highlight our strengths and kind of give, something for everyone. And I think that's just what we craved at the time. We all 3 craved like a little bit of individuality. We'd been doing everything as a 3-headed unit for so long, including like our pictorials and things like that. And we just really wanted a chance to shine on our own.
Well, and not only that, we truly do work out differently.
Oh, 100%. And also another thing I want to say that I think pertains so much to this workout video is I'm the type of person that detests, and this goes back to my childhood in school, I hate doing group projects because I'm usually the one that ends up doing all the work. Like, not always.
Yeah.
But I just, like sometimes it was hard with the 3 of us because some people wouldn't pull as much weight as the others.
Right. That's for sure. I do want to talk too, because Kendra says that Kendall and Violet were, they were so damn serious and everything. And that did strike me when I was rewatching this. They were so serious. And I feel like working out should be fun as you can make it. I know a lot of people don't think it's super fun, but like, I feel like if you can have fun with it and let your personality come out, then other people have fun too. Especially when you're like doing a video like this. If you're all serious and like, it has to be like this and blah, 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 then I feel like that's when it gets like kind of like
pressure.
Yeah, pressure and doesn't feel fun. It feels like a job that you have to do. And I also was thinking too that I was going to have fun with it, but take it seriously as well, because I also did see this kind of like the last episode. This is another opportunity that could be a job later on. Not like I thought I was going to be some big fitness trainer or anything like that, but I thought it would be cool to have a series of workout tapes. And I would have loved that.
Totally. Do you think Andrea, Kendall, and Violet from Exercise TV were given a role and a plot line to do? Because I feel like, as we'll see later, they're coming at us with, I don't know if you guys are serious enough. And like Kendra said, they're very, very serious about the workouts. Do you think they were really hyped up by production? Like, this is your MO. You really need to push the girls. Because I feel that the original intention for this episode that the producers were thinking before it turned out being what it was we're going to make it seem like all these girls are lazy and don't have a work ethic. We're going to make Holly's clumsy and hates working out. We're going to give Bridget the food thing we always give her. We're going to not support Kendra the way we usually do and kind of just see what happens. And we're going to make it look like these lazy Beverly Hills princesses can't pull it off.
Yes.
And somehow I don't know how they thought they were going to save it in the end and get a product, but I can tell by the way Andrea, Kendall, and Violet are acting that they were like given a loose script, so to speak. Like, not a literal script with literal things to say, but I think they were hyped up like, you really need to ask the girls, are you serious about this? Can you really do this? Can you really handle it? And you really need to push them.
That's why I was wondering where this came from to begin with, because I feel like it's so weird that if it came from them, like if they at Exercise TV is like, you know what would be a good idea? Let's try and get the girls next door to do a workout video. And then they come to us and they're like, are you guys even serious about this? Like, come on, are you wasting our time here? It's like, wait, who came to
we didn't pitch this.
Yeah. So that's why I was wondering, well, did Playboy approach them? Like Alta Loma, the Playboy production company, maybe approached them and they're like, well, we'll do it if the girls are serious.
Yeah.
Then that kind of makes sense to me. So that's why I was wondering right at the top, like, where did it come from? And I still would like to know, because I don't think we know for sure. And it makes a big difference sort of in how this all played out. And I would love to get Andrea on the show if anybody knows where she's at.
We were trying to look her up, trying to figure out what her last name was. We were asking people we knew that were producers on the show. Nobody knows, but she was so funny. So I feel like she would be like a cute mini interview.
Yeah, I think she would be a great interview, and she'd have so much information on like how this actually came down. For a minute, I thought maybe she was even Jake's sister, because I feel like she has that outgoing personality like Jake has, and I feel like they could be sister and brother or something. So I was like,
totally.
Does Jake have a sister?
Yeah, that's funny.
I always dread when it's time to feed the cat. It smells so bad and it looks even worse. I'm like, how do they eat this stuff? Well, I just want to say that this partner has truly made a positive impact on the most important person in my life. No, I'm not talking about Nick. Sorry, Nick. I'm talking about my cat. Terry. Terry's food would stink so bad, and I dreaded every time I had to feed him. But that's why you've got to try Smalls. If you're still feeding them cat kibble, I mean, who knows what's even in that stuff? Smalls cat food is protein-packed recipes made with preservative-free ingredients you'd find in your fridge. And it's delivered right to your door, like you can't even beat that. That's why veterinarians.org rates Smalls 10 out of 10 for ingredient quality. Right now, my cat's favorite flavor is the chicken one, but knowing my cat, next week it'll be a totally different flavor that's his favorite, because just when I think I have him figured out, I don't. And my cat prefers Smalls way more than their previous cat food. I legitimately did a taste test, put 2 bowls side by side, and they immediately went to the Smalls. Let me just give you a little bit of history. Smalls was started back in 2017 by a couple of guys home cooking cat food in small batches for their friends. A few short years later, they've served millions of meals to cats around the world. I personally love Smalls for a variety of reasons. I mean, number one, let's just start with the good, clean ingredients for my cat, because I never thought I would find that in a cat food. I used to have that in a dog food, but I had trouble finding that for a cat. I also like that it doesn't stink so bad. Like sometimes when I'm in a hurry and I have to feed him and I'm on my way out the door, I feel like my hands reek of cat food, even after I wash them. No more with Smalls. Not to mention the convenience. You can't beat things being delivered to your door.
Now is the time to make the switch to Smalls. Head to smalls.com/nextlevel and use promo code nextlevel at checkout for 50% off your first order plus free shipping. That's the best offer you'll find, but you have to use our code nextlevel for the 50% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code nextlevel for 50% off your first order plus free shipping.
And I'm doing this presentation and I'm like, we all want to do it separately. We can create shorter workouts for really busy people. And then I go, or lazy people like me, because I'm just playing into like, I'm supposed to be
and
the
they
lazy
give you
one.
dirty
I know.
looks.
And then they stop and they cut to the looks and the crickets and stuff like that. But I do think there's something to the fact of, like, I love the idea that the video could be 3 completely different workouts, and you can either do like, okay, I want to do this one. I'm going to do it 3 times over, or I'm going to do a mix of all 3. It's very mix and match. Or if you only have time to do 15 minutes, you can do 15 minutes. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it's good. For me, I didn't love it only because I felt like the workout that I was doing should also be accompanied. I wanted it to be accompanied by 30 minutes on the treadmill, which they wouldn't let me add in. And it's weird because I looked
workout
at
videos do stuff like that.
Some do.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to have equipment in there that people might not have at home, which makes sense. Like I get why they didn't want it, but I felt like that the workout that I did is only complete if you do it longer and add treadmill cardio into it as well. So like I said, I always work out for an hour. So I felt like that should have been an hour workout, 30 minutes on the treadmill and 2 times the length of the boot camp stuff that I was doing in it. So I didn't feel like it was enough, but I felt like it was fun. And if you did the whole video, then maybe you got your whole workout. Or like I say in this, you can always rewind it and do it again.
Yeah.
Rewind it and do it again. Rewind it and do it again.
And I do feel like if we have to do a workout video, all 3 together, this was probably the best way to do it.
Yeah. And there's no way we didn't have enough time for all of us to do an hour video or even 30-minute video. We barely had enough time for us each to get 15 minutes done.
Yeah, totally.
There's a part where Kendra interrupts, like, because, Andrea's asking, like, how dedicated we are and how into it is. And Kendra interrupts her and says, girl, I'm an athlete, okay? I've been committed to it my whole life. And... I mean, I'm only adding that in here because they are building the stakes really high for Kendra here. And yes, she's being like self-aggrandizing, but they're really pushing it because she has so much, she's so sure of herself. Yeah. And this should be a no-brainer for her. And the show wants you to know that. And then in an interview, Kendra says, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to sports and working out and stuff. I want to do everything perfect. I want to be a pro at everything. And I just thought this is my time to shine.
So then it cuts to us stretching in the backyard. And then it shows Andrea, Violet, and Kendall walking outside, and they're doing a little discussion about how serious are the girls about this. And I can tell just watching this stuff, that's so set up. Like the producers asked them to talk about that specifically. This was not a candid conversation they walk in on. They might have been thinking that in their heads. They might have been like, who are these clowns we're working with? We don't know yet. But I know they were asked to say that. I think
so too. And I have a bunch of questions. Did they really say that? Did they really think we couldn't do it? Did they, like, I have all these questions regarding that, but I think it was set up too. I think there's 100%. No point in even asking all these things because I do think it was set up.
There is one thing they say that bugs me, and I don't take it personally because I know they were asked to say this, and I know we're just building stakes for the show, and it's giving us something to work against. But the thing, if anything, was going to like irritate me, it's like, well, you know, they want to do a workout video, but when they realize there's real work involved, because no, I'm a Capricorn. That's my thing. I don't care if I'm the clumsiest, most out of shape bitch on the planet. If you're saying, Holly, you're doing a workout video, I will come through.
Yeah, me too.
100%.
Me too. Like we have a very strong
work ethic.
Yes. 100%. So we're doing all these warm-ups on the grass and everything. We have to run, like sprint and touch the tree and run back and stuff. And in commentary, we say that it was really actually scary because the grass was all wet and super slippery and we were slipping and sliding and we're like trying to sprint as hard as we can, but it was like scary.
We needed cleats. Yeah. And it shows me like getting tired after like we run back and forth 2 times, but it wasn't really that. Like we were running for a long time and I hate doing cardio. I never do like high impact cardio. So I really couldn't keep up, but also I feel like I'm going to like slip and fall on my ass too.
Oh, but then she uses that against you. She's like, do you even want to do this?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, I just don't want to slip and fall on my ass on camera on national television.
Yeah.
And then she gives up on me, Violet does, and she just points at you and Kendra and goes, I need you two to da-da-da, or to do whatever. And then Coco, the monkey, decides to make her appearance and climb up into her little tower in her cage, and she's watching us. And that was really what I wanted to focus on instead of running.
Did you notice, too, that they really focus on Kendra excelling at this stuff? Like Kendall is like, oh, Kendra, you're doing great. Excellent job. Like, this is amazing, blah, blah, blah. And then they show you really failing at it and not wanting to do it. And she's not serious and
slipping
blah, blah,
and sliding
blah.
off the equipment. And
yeah, but they don't really focus on where I'm at on it. Like, I feel like you see me doing stuff and everything, but there's no real like, well, where's Bridget in all of this? If Kendra's really excelling and Holly's flunking at it, where's Bridget at during all of this stuff? Because I feel like I was doing a really good job with all of it and keeping up with Kendra for the most part. And I think they didn't want to show that because it didn't show 3 different levels.
Yeah,
like they always
want the 3 different levels. They want people to assume you're doing medium.
Yes. Yeah. Like, and I just fall somewhere in between.
Yeah. And then they have this moment where they ask us where we want to be fitness wise, which is kind of like odd because I don't think any of us, well, maybe me the most if anybody's doing it, but I don't think any of us were doing this workout video to try and get somewhere we weren't.
Right.
I say maybe me a little bit because I was so hyper focused on my appearance that I could have always done more like body sculpting wise. And that's what my workout was.
Oh, of course I felt like I could do more, but like I didn't really think that that was the point of this workout. I honestly felt that we were being asked to do this workout because people liked the way we looked already.
Yeah.
And what do you guys do every day? How do you maintain it? How do you live at a house that has a 24-hour kitchen with cakes and cookies and candy bars and whatever you want anytime and stay in shape? Like, I didn't think that us doing this video meant all of a sudden we had to get like rock hard bodies and transform into something that we already weren't. I didn't think that was the point of it at all.
Yeah, because there's already workout videos out there for that, if that's what you want. Yeah.
So it took me off guard because I thought, oh, they want me to be me and show what I do. And so when they're asking us what we want to change and what we want to modify, like, I'll be honest and tell you what, like, I want to work on and what I think could be better and stuff. But I had no plans in trying to do that in time for this shoot for this video.
Yeah. And when they ask me what I want to change, like everything I'm saying is sincere because I had like major body dysmorphia then. But I look at it now and I'm like, am I joking? Like if I didn't know myself, I would look at it now and being like, is she being obnoxious and just trying to like play into a role of your body can never be good enough? Because I'm like, I'm really bloated, and they focus in on what looks like a very flat stomach. And then I turn around and I'm like, and then I have like this dot of cellulite back here, and they focus in on like a leg where you don't really see cellulite. And I wasn't trying to be obnoxious or even really lean into a caricature. I was very sincere because that's where my head was at the time, but crazy.
Yeah. And mine is pretty much the same stuff. I said I could have a flatter stomach, which that's my whole life. No matter how skinny I've ever been, I could always have a flatter stomach.
Yeah, it's always bloating for me, I feel like.
And then I want to tighten up the back of my legs. And that's still my number one thing I want to do. But I was curious too why she was asking us that. If it's something that the show asked her to ask, or if they really thought we didn't have the right look and that we needed to do something. Like, did they think we weren't fit enough to do this? And if so, why'd they even ask us in the first place?
I have to believe the show asked them to ask that just to get another point of conversation and more to work on, because if they only want to do workout videos with people who are absolutely like fitness competition level ripped, then none of us are that.
Right.
So like clearly you know what you're getting into when you agree to do this workout video. So I think it was the show. They're just trying to give us like stakes or something to work toward or something. And speaking of, when I'm talking about like my lump of fat under my butt or something, I've since learned that's a thing. It's called a banana roll. And I remember back in the day, I went to Dr. Orion at Epion and asked him about it. I'm like, can I get this taken away? And they go, no, that's actually, it holds your butt up.
Oh.
So you can't, you just have to live with that banana roll.
Oh my gosh. Well, and then when she asked me, so are you prepared to do some dieting and things like that? And then like the horror movie thing strikes and I'm like, And
I feel like the show had to have put her up to that, because I'm like, okay, we're rehearsing for a workout video that we're filming in 2 days.
No, we had 3 weeks at this point.
Oh,
it was going to be in 3 weeks. That's what we say.
Was it in real life, though?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. How much weight are we going to lose in 3 weeks? Unless we're doing like the crash ass diets.
This 3 weeks also constitutes my birthday week.
Mm-hmm.
We already had scheduled that we needed to go to Arby's because, spoiler alert, that is like a paid promo for our show.
Yeah, it was a backdoor commercial.
And there was something else too. I think we already knew we were going to the Improv, and we were specifically going to the Improv, of course, to see Julie, but also for the food, because we'd heard how amazing the food was. So there were already all these things on our schedule where we knew we were going to eat junk food, and they're like, okay, how about a crash diet for 3 weeks? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be dieting over my birthday. Like, no way. And that's when I say in this interview, like, I was fully under the impression that they wanted us to do this workout video because they like the way we look now, and that people like the way we look now.
Yeah.
Like, not how we could look if we went on a crash diet for 3 weeks. And you know what's weird too is they really play me like anti the diet, and I am anti the diet, especially during the time frame that they want it. But part of me feels like I would, at a different point in time, would have possibly liked the challenge of 3 weeks, because 3 weeks isn't that long. Like, it might be kind of fun. Like, I look at it, or maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it now, but I look at it and be like, that'd be kind of fun to do like a 3-week challenge. I probably could do that.
It just wasn't the right 3 weeks.
Not the week of my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it that week.
Yeah. And when we're doing so many other things.
Yeah. And I talk about in there too, how I'm always trying to find the perfect balance between eating what I enjoy to eat and working out. And Andrea says, right, well, isn't that what you're saying? Isn't that what every woman in America can identify with? Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's where I feel like the happy medium is, because everybody wants to find that equal balance right there so that you can enjoy life and eat what you want and obviously work out too and do something that's fun that you enjoy doing. That's the balance that you have to find. And like you said, sustainable. Like, if you go on crash diets, you're only going to maintain that while you're on the crash diet. And then as soon as you stop doing that, you're going to gain it all back again. Yeah. So I've never been somebody who's into like diets. I mean, I'll try and eat healthy for like a thing that's coming up or like, you know, something quick, but like you have to find something that you can maintain for the long haul. That is just the way of life. I've never been a proponent of diets or, you know, those kinds of things. So, and then she says, I mean, you guys need to cut out drinking, which is like half our schedule.
It's my coping mechanism.
So I'm like, do you know that you realize we're at the Playboy Mansion and that we go out like 3 nights a week, right? Like, what?
And then it cuts to us in the med room and we're kind of continuing this conversation of like Violet hyping us up to commit to this. And then it does a weird cut to Kendra where she goes, sold. But I feel like that was an out of context cut.
I wrote that
and they're
too.
just trying to portray it as like, you're not sold and committed to this ever since diet was brought up. But Kendra is so sold.
Yeah.
And I can just tell by the way it's edited that that's not really what happened.
Me too. Me too. 100%.
And then we suddenly learn that Kendra's been practicing martial arts for a year.
Right. Which I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But also like we were so busy with our own things. I was not by any means monitoring what she was doing on a day-to-day basis. And she didn't necessarily like open up to us or try to have convos about anything extra really all the time. And her trainer is this guy named Hector. And I went on to IMDb to try and find Andrea's last name, but Hector is listed with his professional headshot and everything. So, so he's out there doing his thing.
Interesting.
And then we cut to me talking about my love for green smoothies, which I went through a very long green smoothie kick. I was craving them like crazy, particularly blueberry ones when I was pregnant with Rainbow. And it was like my health thing for the longest time, but they're such a pain in the ass to make.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Burning Man and I was still like on my health green smoothie kick, which you never want to do healthy food at Burning Man. People are eating Fritos and bean dip. You know what I mean? But I'm in there in the RV, like, making a green fucking smoothie for every meal and then having to like wash everything out. And it's just like, it's a mess. It's a nightmare. And then I say in commentary that I started drinking the green smoothies to be healthier, but then I actually gained weight drinking the green smoothies because every green smoothie I was making at the time had a banana in it. A banana has carbs and like 95 calories per banana. And the fact that I restricted my calories so much that green smoothies made me gain weight is a little troubling to me. And sometimes on our Patreon and our questions, we'll get people asking for like a specific list of exactly what we used to eat at the mansion. And I refuse to do it because I feel like I was borderline ED back then. Like I was so strict with my calorie counting. Like I'm not putting that out there. It's not healthy.
Yeah. So I'm on a smoothie kick right now. Bought all kinds of fresh fruits and chopped them all up. I have them in the freezer, ready to go. But they have to be a meal replacement because they are a lot of calories in them. Yeah. So it's like in lieu of lunch or in lieu of breakfast or something like that. It shouldn't be like with my breakfast or with my lunch.
Mine were in place though, and I still gained weight because that's how crazy my day-to-day diet was, as I was counting every last calorie. Like I know it doesn't really look like it on the show because I will like have junk food every now and again, but in my head I was calculating how much that was, and then I have to eat that much less calories the next day. Like that's how insane I was.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
But green smoothies are a great way to get nutrients.
Oh, for sure. Like I was just gonna say too, I love adding the supplements. Like I'll add collagen supplements. I add the Armra. Like I add stuff to them that makes them like superfoods. And yeah, they're really, really good.
So tell us about calling your mom.
So yeah, I call my mom to tell her about this diet. And I think what upsets me most about it too is that I feel like they're wanting me, all of us really, but me to do something that I don't normally do and act like this is just how I got here. This is how I do it. And I think that's sort of what bothered me too, that they want me to like significantly, for me, that's significantly changing my lifestyle for 3 weeks to do this video and then just act like this is what I do and this is what I look like. And like I said, I was under a completely different impression that they wanted it for how we are now. And that's what I wanted to portray. And I do think that's finding that balance is what's most important. And that's what I wanted to portray to the people watching.
Well, I love how you are in this episode, and I feel like you're very ahead of your time as far as being transparent and being like, I just want to present myself as how I am and be honest with the fans, and this is what I do. Because even to this day, so many people don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many like obvious closet Ozempic users there are in Hollywood, or people who get so much obvious plastic surgery that you can see with your eye, but will never admit to it. You know?
Yeah.
So I love that.
And my mom knows how, like, how I don't diet, and I won't. Well, I won't say won't, because like I said, I would take a 3-week challenge. I think it would be fun now, but that it's not my thing. And so I know that she could sympathize with me. Plus, my mom is always my go-to to call to vent to.
Yeah.
Still to this day.
So we're about at the halfway point. Should we wrap it up?
Already? I feel like this went by so fast.
I know.
There's a few commentary things that I was just going to point out. Let's see. We talk about in commentary how nice Kendall was and how easy he was to work with.
He really was great.
And that he meant business, but he got things done fast.
Yeah.
And we talked about how fast the turnaround was too, because we only had, I think this is where you're getting the 2 days. We only had 2 days to practice. And each day they only gave us an hour and a half each. So we had total 3 hours of practice before we were shooting this video.
But we could have on our own time, like in our head, been like, oh, this is my routine and stuff like that.
Yeah, except for we didn't have it fully approved till Kendall like went through it that last 2 days and like helped us solidify it.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I got the 2 days because Kendra later in this episode kept saying, I only got 2 days. I only got 2 days. I only got 2 days.
Yeah. Well, we all only got 2 days.
Yeah.
And then when we're doing commentary, the video is still not out.
Right.
It took forever for the video to come out. And I think that's interesting because I don't know if there was a problem or if this is how long it always takes or like what was going on. But we're doing commentary, which is like a year. Wait, how long would it be later?
Probably a year later.
And it's still not out. And people were asking us, we say that like everyone's asking us like where it is. And we're like, we don't know. And maybe it's never coming out. Like at this point, we still don't know if it's even coming out.
I bet they were just operating on this antiquated system of like what they usually do. Like we shoot a workout video this month and then 6 months later it'll be edited and then 6 months later the DVD comes out. Whereas on Girls Next Door time, it's like we shoot an episode, they edit it, it airs a month later. You would want the DVD to also be edited that quickly and be out. But who knows like what their distribution plan could have been something really antiquated. Like, oh, well, if we want it in these catalogs, we have to give them a year notice. It's just like things were so different back then.
They really were. It took forever for it to come out.
Because ideally, obviously for the consumer, you'd want that thing out and ready to order by the time the episode airs. But this was not the case.
Yeah. I think it's interesting too, just like them trying to do the 3 different things. Like they show Kendra taking it really seriously and she's working out with Kendall and she's working out with her Hector, the trainer down in the gym, and very serious. And you're putting in the effort. You're like green light smoothie, like, you know, doing that stuff. And I'm on the phone crying to my mom about that. They want me to like not eat today.
Yeah.
Like they want me to diet. And then it shows me chomping onto a cheeseburger, which is not even from this day or this time. It's from season 1. I know by the dress that I'm in that it's just before we go to Jazz Festival in season 1. And then they make this disgusting chomping noise, which
ew, I hate those noises.
So in commentary, we also say that Kendra says that someone messaged her and told her that she needed a real martial arts instructor and that she was doing it all wrong.
Oh, yeah, she was pissed.
And then I say, well, someone messaged me and said my room is awful and whoever decorated needed to be fired and that they're an interior designer and they would do a much better job.
Well, somebody said I was ugly.
They did?
Every day.
Oh, yeah, same, yeah. So yeah, we're getting all kinds of like snarky messages already. And speaking of snarky messages, in our next episode, I went, at the end, I went to Amazon to check our DVD and I have our rating and I printed out a bunch of the reviews on it. So we can go over some of those.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about those. Were those reviews made back in the day or are any of them recent?
There's some that are recent.
Because I was shocked by some of those reviews. They were like, clearly the wrong demographic was tuning in.
Uh-huh.
So can't wait to get to those. But if you guys would love more content in the meantime, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/girlsnextlevel. And we will see you guys next week.
And check out our merch store.
Yes, it's girlsnextlevel.shop. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Welcome back to Girls Next Level, everybody. We are back with our workout episode. And you've got our workout merch on.
Yes.
It says, I love cake because we like to work out, but we also like to eat.
That's right.
So where did we leave off on this episode?
So we left off, we are about to get in the limo. And I think it's interesting too, because there's two parts in this scene.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, that was a Cameo I was uploading. I'm the worst on the Cameo app. I'm honestly going to get off of it because I don't know why. I'm so bad at it.
I'm bad too.
I just never feel like I have my makeup done or look good or I'm in good lighting to make a video when it just comes through. And I think that's what throws me off on it.
Me too. And then I do it and then I'm like, wait, that was done. Let me do it again. And then I'm like, was that even good? I don't know. Let me try it again.
I don't mesh with it for some reason.
Yes. So we're in the limo and we're driving and Kendra is on speakerphone with somebody and we're joking about how it's our big night on the town, but they don't address like that she's on the phone or anything like that. But I noticed it. And the reason I noticed it is because later I'm on speakerphone in the car too. And I just think this is interesting because it's really the introduction. I know we've seen it a little bit here and there, the cell phones in here, but this is really like the first time I'm seeing us kind of actively using it in a scene. In interview, I say we just needed a break from diet, exercise, and maintenance stuff. And this was not really said here. Like, I think this is totally chopped up and added in here.
I think you're right. And before we even get in the limo, I just want to make a note real quick that they show shots of us that are very contrasting. Like it shows Kendra kicking ass in the gym with a martial arts instructor. And there's a random woman in the background wearing heels. And I was like, who was that? Because I assumed it was a playmate. But in commentary, she says it was some girl that the martial arts guy brought.
Yeah.
And then I'm reading a book in the living room with bumbling, slow, lazy music behind me. And you're on the phone with your mom, supposedly digging your feet in and not wanting to diet. And they put the fake hamburger in.
Yes.
So we're set up to fail. And then, it's off to the improv.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely want it to look like Kendra is going to nail this. This is her thing. And you and I are going to fail because you're lazy and I can't stay away from food.
Yes. And they put disgusting slurping noises over my, I was going to say Slurpee, my smoothie as well.
Of course they do. In an interview, you say, I was really excited to go to the improv to see our friend Julie perform her comedy routine. She was Miss February 1986. She's a really close friend of Hef's and ours. So we're really excited to support her.
Do we want to talk about Julie for a minute?
I mean, I think we have to.
Yeah, it's so weird because Julie's situation is she lived at Hef's ex-wife's or wife or separated wife or whatever you want to call her house next door while we lived there. She lived in like an apartment above the garage, I think. And I think it was
I always thought she lived in the garage.
Oh no, I think it was like an apartment above the garage. I think she lived in an apartment above the garage. And the deal was like she could live there if she drove the kids to school, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
So she was always on the scene. She was always in the med room drinking coffee and like she was just always there.
Always.
And we really liked her. She was really nice and stuff. And the way I'm talking about Julie in the commentary, you would think she hung the fucking stars. I was like, she's so pretty. She's one of the most underrated playmates, like just going off and off and off. But the reason I bring that up is it makes me feel dumb now because she was on a podcast recently talking trash.
Yeah.
And okay,
about both of us.
Yeah. And like, I get it. Like if people from that group don't want to like me because of what I've written about Hef, that's totally fair if they don't want to like that and they don't want to like me because of it. But the thing she was saying, it's not like she was saying, oh, fuck Holly because of what she wrote. It was like the things she was saying were a little disturbing to me because it kind of made me wonder, like, did she ever like us? Or was she just fake with us the whole time because we were Hef's girlfriends?
Right.
Because she makes a blanket statement in this podcast that like all of Hef's girlfriends were so dumb, no one could have a conversation with them. And I'm like, really? That's a lot of people you're picking a fight with, Julie. Like that's making a blanket statement like, oh, the girls Hef dated are so dumb. You know, like that's a lot of girls that went in and out of there just in the years I was there. So that's a very broad generalization.
Yeah.
And then she tells some story about how she like was wearing a burqa and she put like the bunny ears over the burqa, which I have kind of a vague memory of her doing something like that because she was always doing like really silly stuff. I don't know what it was at. I don't remember if it was a party or a fun in the sun or what the context of it was. But she tells a story and says one of Hef's girlfriends came up to her and goes, oh, what are you supposed to be, a Smurf? And her point was she thought it was dumb that somebody didn't know what a burqa was. Everybody knows in the 2000s what a burqa is because like post 9/11, everybody was talking about like the news. People talk about like burqas and I don't know. Just like that was part of the conversation. Everybody knows what a burqa is. Just because you don't understand or somebody doesn't understand her costume doesn't mean they don't know what a burqa is. And then she goes, and I didn't know who she was talking about because like, I don't remember this happening. And then she goes, really? Like you have a brother in the military and you think you're so patriotic and you don't even know what a burqa is? And I'm thinking, record scratch. You were the only person I knew of that had a brother in the military.
Yeah.
Do you remember that exchange?
I don't remember the exchange, but there is something that's like a little bit familiar to me. Like you said, like I sort of remember something, but I don't remember this at all. But I definitely think she's talking about me. And I think if anything, what I might have thought is that it was very disrespectful what she was doing and that that I was giving her the benefit of the doubt that it was something else.
Something else, yeah.
But like either way, like why is she so hateful and so rude like that?
It was a lot.
It really sucks too because we were always so supportive. Like we obviously thought the world of her. We thought she was very nice. Like
yeah,
we're going to support her comedy thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just goes to show.
Yeah, like I didn't even want to bring that up what she said because like why? But I just, after I was hearing the commentary and just like the way I was like praising her so much in the commentary, I'm like, this is such a big contrast to where things stand now. I think I have to cover it.
Well, I think it has to be brought up because you're not the only one who said something about it. There's lots of fans that have said that she, have told me that story. I have never listened to the podcast. I don't want to, but other people have said it. So I think we have to mention it.
Yeah.
Summer's here and there's plenty of time to enjoy everything you love about summer, but it kind of depends on what you do right now.
Livestrong says to get into summer shape, start now, diet, exercise, and don't expect to lose any belly fat for up to 2 months. So basically, you might not be reaching your goals in time for summer. But it's your choice. Weeks or months of calorie counting and boot camp gyms, like we're talking about in this episode, or lose the fat in inches in one single visit to Sono Bello. If you have a stubborn issue that diet and exercise aren't getting rid of, this might be another option if you feel like you want it. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a faster, comfortable one-visit technique. Wherever you have stubborn fat, tummy, sides, thighs, arms, or sagging, loose, jiggly skin, smile, it's gone. Sono Bello gives you your curves back. No more feeling embarrassed, shy, and uncomfortable. No more hiding under baggy clothes instead of shorts and tees. Give yourself the gift of a full body reset. Learn about one-visit micro laser fat removal. Schedule your free consultation. Ask about Sono Bello's spectacular summer savings going on now. Visit sonobello.com/nextlevel. sonobello.com/nextlevel.
So we're all in Ed Hardy again?
Total Ed Hardy.
All decked out.
I'm wearing like a pink Ed Hardy cashmere sweater, a satin Ed Hardy bomber jacket.
I'm wearing a zip up, and I remember it was so thick and heavy, like a zip up sweatshirt, but inside was like fur.
Oh, whoa.
Not real fur, like faux fur, but it was like so, I remember being so bulky and so warm.
Yeah.
I think it was summer.
That's
funny. No, let's see. It would have been the end of September, October, but still probably pretty warm in LA.
You know what's crazy is I don't really have much of a memory of this night.
That is weird. I know you mentioned that to me before.
Yeah, I wonder if I should go grab my date book because usually my memory's pretty good and I have zero memory really of this night. And I wonder like did I have something major on my mind? I can tell watching the footage in the limo, I'm very much disassociating. I can tell just by watching myself in the limo. Like my head is somewhere else completely. But I wonder why that was. And I think it's worth looking at my day planners, because when I've glanced at my day planners in the past, my schedule's just so chock full of things. Like I remember, this was before I started in vitro, but I was going to the doctor and like having my potential fertility looked at. And I had endometriosis on my ovaries that they had to remove at one point, which they did via a laparoscopy, which isn't a major surgery or anything, but it's still a lot. Like you're put under for it.
Yeah.
You wake up from it crying, which I've heard is a normal thing. Cause I guess anything that involves that area, you often wake up like crying. Like I woke up crying, which is weird. And the nurses are like, oh, people do this all the time when it involves your reproductive organs. It's just kind of like a natural response. But in my day planner, sometimes I would see, oh, surgery at 11 a.m., going out on the town, 8 p.m. Like I no days off. So I kind of want to grab my date book and take a look.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my day planner. If you're watching the video version on YouTube or Patreon, somebody made this for Hef and he didn't want it. And it's like a big day planner with a Playboy bunny on it. So I used it. Oh, I have Vanity Fair shoot that we never got published. Do you remember that?
Not very much.
Yeah, we shot with Norman Jean Roy and I was so excited to shoot with him, but they just never ran the photos. It was
What
weird.
were we wearing in it?
I was wearing a bunny costume at one point, but we were wearing like nighties on the bed, like baby doll nighties.
I have photos from that day. Yeah, it looks cute. Look, I see it says Ed Hardy. We went to Ed Hardy.
Yep, we went to Ed Hardy on the 13th of September.
So it's got to be right after that.
Uh-huh.
Film workout video.
Yeah, we filmed the workout video, but Arby's was the next day. So we were totally lying when we're like, oh, we have to be on a diet. I had a big, long list of things I was doing that day, but it's nothing crazy. So I don't know why I'm so disassociative in this scene, but I totally am.
Are you talking about, what did it say what night improv was? Because the night we do.
Fuck.
Because
yeah, I was looking at Arby's.
Just so you guys know, the night we do Arby's, and I was about to get into this, but the night we do Arby's is not the night we do the improv. I know it makes it look like it's the same day, but it's not. And what they had us do is they took Polaroids of us that night. And then when we went and did Arby's, they made us do the exact same hair, outfits, makeup, and everything to make it look like it was the same day.
Okay, so the improv was like a week before Arby's. I had confessional, well, it just says interviews. So I don't know if those were my confessional interviews or press that morning. And then at 2:00, there was a meeting about the workout clothes. So it's nothing like stressful or crazy, but
I did have a little
day.
fight that day with the interview clothes that I was going to get into in this episode.
Another one?
Yeah, you don't remember?
No.
Well, we'll get into it. I don't want to take you out of order.
Okay.
So we're going to the improv, not the same night as Arby's, even though it looks like it. And we had been told how good the food is at the improv for like so long. So we were like super excited. Of course, we're going to support Julie, but we really wanted to go and have like dinner.
Yeah.
So we get there. It smells so good. We talk about it smelling like buffalo wings in there. And we order like a whole bunch of food. And of course, they make it look like I'm ordering all this stuff. And you're like, can I have a nacho? And I'm like, oh yeah, as if it's all for me.
I know. And I know what you were doing. You were ordering for everybody and we were all going to pick off of the apps.
Yeah. And everybody was telling me what they wanted. So like I can, and just because I know you guys love food out there, I was writing down some of the stuff that I saw, and we had buffalo wings, we had fries, nachos, mozzarella sticks, spinach artichoke dip. And then there was another one, but I couldn't tell what it was, but it looked like 5 appetizers came and 6 people are sharing them.
Oh yeah.
So
none of us are pigging out really.
And none of us are going to Arby's afterwards.
Yeah.
Like they make it look like.
Also, your Cinderella cosplay confessional makes another appearance.
Well, that's another reason why I feel like some of these lines are off, because they're not even for this episode.
Yeah, they're from interviews you did probably months ago.
Yeah.
Months ago.
Yeah. And so this is when you say, oh, can I steal a nacho? As if I'm hoarding all of this stuff.
Totally. When really it was because I had to reach across for something, you know?
Right. But that doesn't play into Bridget has an eating problem.
Yeah.
And she's heavy.
Was this the only time we ever went to the improv? Because we usually went to the Comedy Store.
Yeah. I don't remember really going to the improv very often. I feel like this could have been the only time.
Yeah. I think this was a one-off.
They Julie on the stage. And
but before Julie comes up, they have these two women doing comedy and they don't come off very funny. And I wonder, is that the editing? Like, did they want to edit it to make it look like they were bombing?
I don't know, but I didn't think Julie came off looking funny either. So I thought maybe they were editing everybody to look bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
In an interview, I say I think Julie is totally brave for being able to go on stage and do stand-up comedy. I give her a lot of credit for doing that. And I do. Like, I really feel like that is such a scary thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be one of the hardest jobs.
I did this event for Baby Quest. It's like a fertility thing where they give grants for people who can't afford fertility treatments. And we did a thing at the Comedy Store. And I just had to get up on stage to start the night off and introduce like the first comic and stuff. And there's something just so intimidating about even just being on that stage in that setting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I really felt like I was like, oh God, I see why they have nerves, because it's like nerve-wracking up here.
Julie's hair looks really good. It's so shiny.
It is. Yeah.
I want to say, before we get too much into the comedy thing, when they're bringing all the appetizers, it shows you like shouting out what every appetizer is, like as if you're the only one into it. And then it cuts to Kendra making like a cringing face, like she's recoiling from the food. But I don't think she was really making a cringing face at the food. I think that's just editing to make it look like you're hoarding the food. I'm dipping into the food, and Kendra's being super disciplined and not touching the food.
Which was not reality at all. Annoying. I didn't even notice that one. Yeah. That's so annoying.
And did you notice the laugh track they added?
No.
Oh, they added so many fake laughs to the comedy scenes. Like a full laugh track, like I Love Lucy status.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I just thought this scene was very strange. So Julie walks up to Hef and he asks her in a joking way, oh, what are you doing here? Like, as if we weren't there to see her. And I feel like she doesn't come up with an answer, really. She's just like taken off guard. And I felt like the scene was really weird and kind of cringy. And
I didn't even notice. That's
curious
funny.
Why they left it in. And I was like, are they trying to go with the whole thing that she's not funny?
I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Unless they just needed some kind of interaction with her touching base at the table, and maybe that's all they had.
That could be too. And then she kind of follows us out and says goodbye. But then it sort of looks like she's getting in the limo with us, but then she doesn't. And it's a very just weird edit.
Yeah. And then she shows up at Arby's later, which was, of course, filmed on a different day. It's so strange.
So I think for some reason they wanted her to do the Arby's thing with us, but we weren't really doing it that night. But she makes it look like she's getting in the car and going with us when she's not. So the whole thing is weird. And I don't know why we would have needed her for the Arby's scene anyway.
I think it was us cheerleading it. I bet we were like, Julie should come to this too. Because if we're running into her on a day-to-day at the mansion, come with her. You got to do this too. I can see us doing that. But also when we get to Arby's, unless I wasn't paying attention, the impression I got was that we all got to Arby's and she like met us there later.
Yeah, so she did.
It makes no sense.
And she doesn't even look like the same from that same night.
I know. We all had to match our Polaroids carefully. And she has like a jacket on and a scarf. So like theoretically, she could have put something on over her stage outfit. So I guess it works. But like they made us match to the T.
Right.
So funny.
And then in commentary, Kendra says during the scene, she never once dieted during this whole period either. And then you say, well, it was impossible because we had so many things going on in this time period that were food related, the improv, Arby's, and my birthday, among just a few of the things that we've like talked about. So yeah, this whole scene in the limo, it has like, well, what should we do next? All just made up, and it cringes to me.
Because like we said in our last week's episode, the reason we're shooting at Arby's is because it was a back-end sponsorship deal. Like E supposedly had a lot of pressure with advertisers on the network. So they would do like these back end deals where like Captain Morgan would pay, but instead of being a Captain Morgan commercial, Captain Morgan would be worked into the episode. So this is another one with Arby's, and we love doing it because we love fast food. And I was going to ask you, because I know Nick is a huge Arby's fan.
Yes.
Did you go to the old Arby's that I sent you?
We haven't been, but Nick's like, I'll totally go to that.
It's so cute. Like I think it's the Merch Motel account on TikTok. They go to all like the retro places, which I love. And I guess there's Arby's, and it's an old one. I think it's like down in the South Bay or something.
Yeah, I think it said Newport.
Yeah. And it's old. It looks like a covered wagon. And then it has this cool tile floor with like longhorn cattle design and stuff. It looks really neat. But supposedly it's in danger of being demolished. So I'm like, you guys have to go.
They're getting rid of all of them. Poor Arby's. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. What's up with that?
But I love Arby's. And we supposedly couldn't do it the same. I think we were supposed to do it the same night as the Improv, but we couldn't because the manager was out of town for a convention, we say. In the commentary. So
they say AI is going to take over the world. Chatbots for this, virtual assistants for that. And eventually humans are just going to be obsolete. I'm not saying that I'm looking forward to that necessarily, but there is one robot that already exists and it's making my and my cat's life better. The litter robot. The litter robot is the solution to all your litter box problems. Never scoop again with Litter Robot. Litter Robot's self-cleaning technology automatically cleans after every use, so your cats will always have a fresh bed of litter to do their business, and your friends won't think your house smells like a litter box. Thank God. I'm always worried about that. And get this, Litter Robot will send a notification to your phone when it needs to be emptied. It even gives you data and insights to stay on top of your cat's health. It doesn't get any easier than this, and your cat will thank you. Just over 1 million happy pets and pet parents who've upgraded to Litter Robot. What are you waiting for? So we have 2 cats and we have a 2-story house. So we have multiple litter boxes. And my biggest problem is I've only changed one of them out to the Litter Robot. I need all of them changed out. It really, truly does make your life so much easier. Whisker is currently offering $50 off Litter Robot bundles as a special offer to listeners of the show. Go to stopscooping.com/nextlevel and use promo code nextlevel to save an additional $50 on any Litter Robot bundle. That's $100 off any Litter Robot bundle at stopscooping.com/nextlevel and use promo code nextlevel. Stopscooping.com/nextlevel, promo code nextlevel.
So we walk into Arby's and it shows people's reactions to us, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And there was the cutest, like, old couple sitting there that kind of looked very Appalachian mountain style. So I'm like, we're the mountain people when we're in commentary. They're so cute. And then Kendra said something really funny. What did she say in commentary? The DVD commentary is funny. And it sucks that you guys don't all have access to it. But, oh no, I know what she yelled. I'm like, we're the mountain people. And Kendra goes, shepherds. Shepherds. So funny. So we go into Arby's and there's a guy filming Hef on his flip phone. And I was just trying to imagine like how crappy the quality must be.
Horrible.
Like, do you remember even like taking photos on a BlackBerry? And that would have been years after this that we're talking about. Like how bad the photos were.
Right. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Funny. So the food at Arby's looks so good. And another funny thing we did that they don't show on the show is like Hef was handing out food at the drive-through window. And the only reason I remember that is because I have photos of it. And there's also photos of me like sticking my leg out the drive-through window and stuff.
It's in deleted scenes though.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
So when we're
going to have some fun deleted scenes episodes for you guys too.
Yeah. And then, you know what? I ordered loaded potato bites, which is so weird to me. And even hearing myself order that, I'm like, what? I don't feel like I ever ate those. Like I always get the same thing at Arby's all the time, but I always get like the beef and cheddar melt. And then I get like the curly fries.
Did they tell us to order specific things though? Like, did they want specific things plugged?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Because I'm like, that's so weird. I've never ordered those in my life. And here I am ordering them on the show as if that's what I have to get because those are so good.
That's so funny. You know what my most memorable thing from this night was?
What?
The giant curly fries. Like, how big were those potatoes? Like,
that's
you
what
pull
I was
out
saying.
the most giant, longest curly fry. And then Kendra pulls one out that's even longer.
I know.
You're like, damn.
How?
And I love how they play sci-fi music when you pull out the fry. Like, it's just this weirdest world anomaly. And then we've done all this, and that's when Julie shows up. So she definitely didn't like theoretically ride over with us in the
and Allison just disappears. Allison was with us at the improv, but she's not in the scene.
And then they have a voiceover of Kendra saying, now I feel guilty as we get into the limo, which my note was toxic diet culture. But also, was that even Kendra talking? Or do you think that might have been like an editor line? It's very random. You can tell it's a fed line if you think about it, or like a edited in line. It's like, now I feel guilty as we're getting into the limo.
Yeah, I just thought she said it. I didn't think anything of it because earlier she says, while we're eating, she says, fuck this diet shit.
Yeah. And then it has you and I saying stuff like, that was good. That was so fun.
Yeah. Oh, and I wrote about the guy that was filming in the corner on his flip phone. I wrote, he's probably with Exercise TV.
A narc.
Yeah. He's like, I caught him. They were eating Arby's. But Kendra does say, I am going to have to work out extra hard tomorrow. So yes. I think it was just the whole mentality. And I'm not going to lie, I feel like I still have a little bit of that mentality now. If I eat out and it's like super, junky and stuff, I'll say, oh, I feel so guilty after eating all of that.
Yeah.
And I have said in the recent past, oh, I'm going to have to work out extra hard tomorrow, or I'm definitely going to have to hit the gym today or whatever. So I feel like I still have a lot of the same mentality, the same like guilt and...
Oh, yeah. It's still very much on my mind, like what I eat and like how did I eat the day before and things like that. So then the next scene is when we're finally going to the workout studio with Kendall, the trainer. And it was a very weird, dreary day. I remember it being weird and dreary. And I was going to say, was that like a cold, fun in the sun day? Like when the weather just starts being bad enough that we're not doing fun in the sun? Because I always feel like Sundays are kind of dreary. But then in commentary or in the show or somewhere, Kendra says it was on a Sunday because she's like missing the game.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day doing the training and stuff? Did we really all do it on the same day?
We did do it all on the same day.
And I went
we did it for 2 days. We did it Saturday and Sunday. That's the 1.5 hours each day of training that we got. That was all that we had for rehearsal. You went first, I went second, and Kendra goes last. Mm-hmm. I remember very little of it, but I remember going.
Yeah.
Did your car have like a giant logo on the back of it?
Yes, because they did something to my car. I forgot what it was. And then they just kind of put that giant sticker on the back without asking.
That is like brazen because it's huge. And I was like, God, Holly has this giant sticker on. And then I'm like, wait, it's the custom car company thing.
Yeah. And I feel like they filmed it for the show, but never used it. Like them doing whatever they did to my car. I don't remember if it was rims or what. And I know they filmed it for the show because like I remember doing confessional interviews about it. And like I remember Michael did that interview and she was really making sure I said the name of the car place. And they put like a big sticker on the back of the car and stuff. And
then they never used it?
No, never used the footage.
Weird.
I mean, maybe it's in deleted scenes. Maybe we'll see that, but.
And then did you see that the parking space next to you said reserved for suicide girls?
No. Do you know what that is?
No, what is it?
I don't know if it's still around, but it was supposed to be like an alternative to Playboy where it was just alt girls. Like it's just like girls with tattoos or things like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know if it's still around, but.
Well, that's interesting. So it was in the same studio?
Yeah, I guess so.
So you arrive at the rehearsal studio and it's kind of uneventful, right? You just do your thing and.
Yeah, I mean, I was just down to business and.
Yeah, I think same for me.
Got it done. Yeah.
Like just went in there, rehearsed, got it down. And then Kendra arrives, but she's the last one. She says, it's a little early for me. But I looked at the schedule and her time to be there was like 1:00 or something like that.
Oh my God, that's funny. And I felt like it wasn't really that we needed that much rehearsal. I felt like the rehearsal was more just to show Kendall what we were doing ahead of time so he could like brief us on what we could be doing better technique wise or just to like approve the whole thing. I feel like the main part of being prepared is just deciding what you're going to do, probably writing that down and just knowing this is what I'm doing.
Right. Well, that's easy for you and I to do, but Kendra's not disciplined enough to do that.
Yeah. Well, see, I think she expected someone to do it for her. And I'm not trying to come in here and like criticize her or anything. I just think that's more her style. And I think she, ever since she'd moved into the mansion, had been very enabled that way. And the show would always, like if she wasn't prepared for something or was late, the show's always going to like support her and boost her up and make sure her needs are met. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe she kind of expected to be met halfway on this project and was not met halfway for like the first time on anything since she's been at the mansion.
Yes.
But you and I were not ever used to being met halfway. So we knew to be prepared.
Right.
You know?
One of the things that we were supposed to be doing in these rehearsals is he was teaching us about like kind of what to say, how we'd keep it real and that kind of stuff. And I remember one of the things that I was saying in my workout video was remember to breathe, because I always hold my breath during workout videos. I still do it to this day. And it's a common thing. Like I do the Peloton all the time and I hear them, don't forget to breathe, like blah, blah, blah. I got so much ridicule after the video came out. Oh, she's so stupid. Don't forget to breathe. Like as if people aren't going to breathe and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, tell me you don't work out without telling me you don't work out. Because it's a common thing that people say when you're working out. And it's a common thing that people do when they are working out.
Yeah.
And I just remember getting so much like backlash on that.
Oh my God.
And it pisses me off to this day still.
Oh my God.
I think about it every time I hear another trainer say it or anything too. And I'm just like, I hope all of those people like
forgot to breathe
forever.
I'm going to grab a coffee real quick because I'm feeling very lightheaded.
Okay.
Back from my coffee break. You know what? I started taking thyroid medication yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I decided to see a hormone doctor just to like make sure everything's good. And she was looking at my numbers and she said, I have hypothyroidism, but if my numbers were as low as yours, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed in the morning.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So we'll see how this medication works. Like, I know I'm a chronic fatigue person, but I thought I was doing relatively well recently. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. When you were talking about the Kendall thing and stuff, he was doing that like on the flight interview with the camera and stuff. He's getting visibly like annoyed.
Yeah.
And kind of like irritated with the whole situation. Like I can tell he's frustrated.
Yeah. And I think what's never made clear on the show is it was made pretty explicitly clear that we were supposed to come up with our own routines. Like the trainers are there to help us if we need the content, I guess, but we're supposed to come up with our own routines or at least work with the trainers to devise our own routines. And we all three had the same amount of time to do it.
Yeah. I think that what you were saying earlier, I just want to elaborate on that. It's every time we did something like this, everybody went out of their way to help and make sure Kendra succeeded at it, or at least to a point.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that something was happening and they weren't doing that for her. It's like they were getting a kick out of watching her fail this time. And we were so shocked that they weren't like picking up all the pieces and making it look like she was doing the best or at least doing well or getting it done. And I didn't know at the time, like whether that was coming from the workout people or whether it was coming from Girls Next Door crew or both.
My suspicion is it was Kevin because I feel like Kevin always favored Kendra, but the one thing he always got a giggle out of was to make her look like she's not as good at sports as she thinks she is. So I feel like he was kind of like having fun with it this time, but it's kind of the only thing he does it for.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting because I remember earlier this season we were talking about, I don't remember if it was the dog birthday party episode or what it was, but you were talking about something Kendra was doing that was bothering you. And I asked you, but would it bother you if she wasn't so enabled? Like if Kendra was just doing that, but everybody just kind of let her do it and people didn't like fly in from the sides to like support her and, you know, make sure everything came out great for her at the end. Would it still bother you? And you were like, nah, probably not as much because it was such a consistent thing.
Yeah. So I feel like what normally would have happened is Kendra would be like kind of failing at this. So they would send somebody in to help her. Like somebody would do the workout video with her that would kind of lead it, but it would still be Kendra's video. They would do something, or they would add a bunch of girls to her video to make it look like the best one or whatever. Yeah. Like, I feel like they would go out of their way to make sure that hers was the best, everything. And this time they were just like, we're not doing it.
Yeah. Although I will say at the end of the day, the DVD gets done and manufactured.
Right.
So they're doing it to a point. Like, I think if you would have hired a random person to do a workout DVD and they just kind of showed up and didn't have a routine ready and kind of flopped, maybe the whole project would get scrapped. But that's not what happened this time.
Right.
So they go that far, but they don't go far on the show to make it look like, oh, she succeeded even though she didn't do any work, kind of a thing.
When I think of summer smells, I think of sunscreen, salty beach air, barbecue on the grill, and unfortunately, sometimes body odor. Well, not this summer. Thanks to Lumi Whole Body Deodorant, BO will no longer be an unwelcome guest at my summer plans. Their pH-optimized formula is clinically proven to block odor all day, and it's not just for underarms. It's for Everywhere we get odor. Pits, privates, feet, underboobs, you name it. So no matter how hot it gets, you can still smell fresh and feel confident from head to toe. Ready to make this your freshest summer ever? New customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code and link. Use code NEXTLEVEL at LumiDeodorant.com, LumiDeodorant.com. One of the things I love most about Lumi is all the different applications it comes in, from wipes to sticks to creams. It's so easy to put on, no matter how you're trying to do it. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, underboobs, thigh folds, belly button, butt cracks, vulvas, and feet. It's created by an OBGYN who saw firsthand how normal BO was being misdiagnosed and mistreated. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours.
Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code NEXTLEVEL for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code NEXTLEVEL at LumiDeodorant.com.
Well, I will say, and we're going to get to it when I read the reviews and stuff, that a lot of people said that hers was way shorter than ours. Like ours were 15 minutes and hers was like less than 10.
Oh.
And that for like 2 or 3 of those minutes, it's just her doing weird dance moves that nobody can like follow because it's like her just dancing around. And so I feel like they didn't get a full video out of her.
Yeah. I bet you're right.
Or a full workout or whatever.
Maybe that's why it took so long to come out. Maybe they were like, I don't know if we really want to release this. And then they're like, fuck it. We spent the money on the footage.
But I wanted to talk a minute too about designing our own workout clothes. And so we got to go to downtown LA and we kind of I think we kind of sketched it out ahead of time, right? But we went down there and we were looking at fabric samples and stuff like that. And I was super excited about it, about getting our own workout clothes.
Yeah, I thought for sure we were going to have a workout line, but then they decided not to do it.
Yeah. But we don't know that at this time. And we're designing for our individual segments that we're going to do. And of course, I'm thinking I want pink because I'm a pink girl. And then they bring out this like camouflage material. And Kendra's like, I want that. That's perfect for hip hop, which I don't know why it's hip hop. But I said, wait, but I'm doing a boot camp video. Don't you think I should have that for boot camp? And she got so pissed at me.
Oh, no.
And we were like fighting over who gets the camo material.
Oh my God.
And I don't even like camo necessarily, but like I'm doing a boot camp routine. So I feel like if anybody's going to wear the camo, I should be wearing it. And she finally was like, fine, whatever. And she was all mad about it but everybody agreed with me that it should be with the boot camp one.
Yeah.
I would have much rather had a pink outfit, but it didn't fit with the routine I was doing.
That's so funny.
So anyway, I just remember her having major attitude about that.
Oh, yeah.
And but I don't feel like that would have been why your mood was down when we went to the improv, because that was that same day.
Oh, when I had written down workout meeting.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought maybe that might have something to do with it. Yeah. So I feel like from this point on, the whole Kendra thing kind of goes downhill.
Yeah. The script gets flipped.
And then this is where I also talk about that I really wanted to add treadmill to my workout, but they wouldn't let me. And you said you wanted to do a cheerleading themed workout, which I think would have been so cute and so fun.
I didn't want to for this workout video. I think I meant like I want to do that down the road.
Okay, can I talk about something I've been wanting to do forever?
Yeah.
A workout video?
Yeah.
I have been trying to get somebody to do this with me for at least 7 years now, and I haven't found the right person to do it. I want to do a horror workout where...
Like you're running from a killer?
Yes.
Oh my
exactly.
God, that would be funny.
And you like fall to the ground like burpee style and get up and you're kicking and you're punching and you're running in place and they're after you kind of thing.
That would be so funny.
And very 80s Camp Crystal Lake style.
Summerween.
Yes. Like I want to do it so bad and I have it all in my head,
God.
like how it needs to be. And I've talked to a couple of different people and they're all just like, I don't know.
You need to find somebody who is just going to embrace the camp
Yes.
and run with it. Like, this is going to be campy as fuck. People can take it seriously or not. Who cares?
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be just me. It could be like 3 girls doing the video or something like that. But I feel like it would be so cute. And I feel like it would be so fun. And it would be truly like a cardio workout with like burpees and kicks and punches and whatever else. Like I had a whole list of like exercises that I thought could be added to it. Like you can do donkey kicks and you can do, forward kicks, all kinds of things.
Have you ever seen Mousercise?
Wait, I feel like I have seen that a million years ago,
I made
right?
a TikTok about it because, so I used to do this workout as a kid because it would be on Disney Channel. Okay, this is weird. Like when we lived in Alaska, when we're in places where we like had TV, they would give us like free cable. So we had the Disney Channel like back in the 80s. And this was before they like made kids shows. Like I think Kids Incorporated was the only like show starring kids. Like it wasn't in the Miley Cyrus era or anything like that. So they would just show like old Disney cartoons and content and stuff. But one thing they had in the morning was an aerobic show called Mousercise. And it would be this lady leading a workout and all the other people around her doing the workout were kids or people in a literal Mickey Mouse costume. And some of the moves are so funny because she's like, here, we're going to be a doll in Small World. And it's just like the craziest thing to watch. It is like a fever dream.
Oh my God. It sounds creepy.
It kind of is. But my mom like made me do it.
So, okay, we're backyard at the mansion. I'm like, nightmares. The film crew is all set up. And I actually was kind of blown away by how professional the whole setup was and everything.
Yeah. And didn't you say that they wanted us to shoot this on a soundstage, but then they decided to do it at the mansion?
It's in my notes that we were originally supposed to go to Burbank to a soundstage to film it. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know, but the mansion's a perfect backdrop. It looks great.
Yeah, you would think that they would have done that from the start, and that the soundstage would have been a backup. Maybe it was if the weather wasn't cooperating, since it was October,
or maybe they just had the mindset like they just assumed that would not be an option and didn't think of it. Whereas for us and everybody on the Playboy side of the world, that just seems like the no-brainer. Like we never leave here. Why not?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, that's what like the fans want to see too.
Mm-hmm.
So I go out because I'm shooting mine first. And as they're finishing setting up, I go to visit Coco. And
she's not interested.
She's not interested, not paying attention. I say she could kind of use the workout because she's, a little overweight. Poor Coco's getting body shamed for the second time.
I was like, she's probably so offended.
I know.
No wonder she wasn't interested.
And then they do this cute graphic where they show like a VHS box with Coco on it. It says Body by Coco.
Yeah.
And then we are finally getting a Body by Jake sighting.
Yes.
He's on site for the shoot. And it cuts to Kendra in her room stretching and stuff. And it cuts to her confessional where she's saying 2 days of practice ain't shit. And she was freaking out.
And they show me looking really, really nervous. And I think I was nervous, but I don't think I was nearly as nervous as they were making me look. Like, I think I was just rehearsing and practicing. And
oh, I don't remember you being nervous at all. This is also where Andrea starts being really funny. Like she calls Kendra's workout the booty blast off. And I say that sounds like a fart.
Yeah.
And I'm busy like doing my workout as they're cutting back and forth between everybody. And I keep talking about squeezing your butt. It's very important. It's a good isometric workout. And I still stand by that. And obviously it's really important when you're doing like squats to like dig your heels in and squeeze your butt as you're standing up and like all those things, or you're just not getting the most out of it.
And breathe. You have to breathe too.
You have to breathe. But like it's a gag that they keep saying like squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt, squeeze your butt over and over. And as I'm saying it, they cut to a guy holding a reflector with like a really goofy look on his face and he's like nodding. It's so funny, which is obviously like not in real time and stuff. And I felt like the challenging thing about these workout videos that you don't know is you're not just doing the workout once and there's your 15 minutes. It's like you have to do it 8 times and so they can get every single angle. And I think for me, I had to do it extra because like one of the camera people wasn't set up by the time I was filming.
Oh.
So I had to do it like double, which was fine because it wasn't like I had a high impact cardio workout or anything. It was all strictly body sculpting, but I had a good time with it and it went pretty seamlessly.
I say that I was recording mine for 2 hours, so a 15-minute video for 2 hours, and that I had to keep redoing things because the sun would move. Oh. So when I got done with like a position, like the sun had shifted, so they had to scoop me over more and then do that part again. So,
and then you come out to do your segment.
Oh yeah, so I come out to do my segment, and of course Kevin has to show me messing up right off the bat because I can't be like the broadcast journalist major and not mess up, because it's sort of like Kendra in the sports thing. He wants to show me like totally messing up, and
just like I flop at doing anything domestic.
Yes, it's
those were
totally
his favorite gags. I had to flop at doing anything domestic. You had to flop at any broadcast journalism, and Kendra had to flop at any sports.
Yeah, because those are the one things that we want the most, and so we obviously suck at it.
Yeah,
yeah. I just felt like he's trying to make it look like she can't host. All she can do is eat. That's what I wrote in my notes.
Oh my God. Well, the only clips they use of you are either the first one where you're like, oh, I want to do that over again, or ones where you're talking about food. And I'm like, I know that there is no way she's actually talking about food this whole time.
Right.
But every time you're talking about food, they make it look like you're spending the whole 2 hours out there just talking about
pizza and cookies and whatever else, cake.
24-hour kitchen.
Yes. I know I do say that kind of stuff in there, because that's what I'm trying to be relatable about, that we all have this balance that we have to do. Mm-hmm. That was the whole theme of of everything.
Totally.
And then basically, I feel like I nailed it, and everybody's laughing and having a good time.
Like, I didn't sit out there for yours or anything, but I feel like yours and mine went off like without a hitch, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, Andrea like gets done and she's like, I'm so proud of you. You did so good. It was a great job. And gives me a big hug. So she's clearly surprised and very happy.
And then the way Andrea is talking to Kendra is so funny, because she's trying to be like hip hop kind of.
Crumpalicious. And then just stop them and then say, come to the hand. Hip hop bunny. You want it on the step.
And it's so funny.
Even Kendra is like, it's funny listening to her say things she thinks I would say.
I know. And now I want to be fair here talking about Kendra's portion, because I don't know how it was edited. Like, they could have been as nasty in the editing as they were with your food thing. But immediately, according to the show, she starts throwing a tantrum and stomping her feet and I can't do this and stuff like that. Maybe that's editing. Maybe it's not.
No, I was out there for part of it.
Oh, okay.
She was definitely having a full meltdown, refusing to do it. And she says it on camera. There's too many fucking people standing around. I can't do it in front of all these people. Like, nobody's there. Just like, there's not like a crowd or like fans watching. It's just literally the camera crew. And then in interview, she says, why couldn't I just have more practice? But she refused to practice because she was too worried about what the Chargers game.
Yeah.
So she did have more practice.
And there was nothing stopping any of us from practicing on our own time.
Yeah. And then she says, thank God for Hef. But like, what did Hef really do? Like, he came out and talked to her, basically told her probably, let's get this fucking going.
Yeah. Do you think she was asked to say thank God for Hef? Like, because the show wants to make it look like he's just like the ultimate moral support and inspires people to go the extra mile.
Could be. So the segment is just wrapped up with each of us kind of doing like a little wrap up sentence, and you say, I might not work out as much as or as often as the other two girls, but I think I definitely succeeded at what I wanted to accomplish.
Oh, I feel like I killed it. And I remember Kevin after the fact just complimenting me so much and being like, oh my God, I didn't know you were so like good on camera, just talking to the camera. Cause I feel like that's what I excel at more. Like, I would have loved to be a narrator of something or a host of something. Like, I was never meant to like be myself on reality TV. Like, that's not my skill. And I just felt like, I felt like it was a good experience, and I was able to like succeed at something that I think other people would think I was not cut out for.
Yeah.
So I know I'm a little crazy, but I'm going out of town at the end of the month for like 2 weeks, and I'm already thinking about what and how I'm going to pack. And I'm always thinking, gosh, I want to make sure that everything that I bring is worth bringing and that I'm actually going to wear it. I don't want to wear clothes that don't fit or are worn out or just don't match very well. But that's when I decided Quince will be my go-to for high quality vacation essentials that I'll be packing for trips to come, like premium European linen dresses, blouses, and shorts for $30, washable silk tops, premium luggage options, and so much more. The best part, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. And I love that.
I'm obsessed with this new outfit I got from Quince. It's this really pretty silk skirt, goes just below the knee, and a camisole top that goes with it. I'm going to have to wear it on the podcast once so you guys can see it in the video. You guys will love it too.
Pack your bag with high-quality essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/nextlevel for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/nextlevel to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/nextlevel.
And I say it was definitely grueling and I was definitely working up a sweat. That 15-minute routine probably wouldn't work up a sweat for me alone, but having to do it for 2.5 hours did. That's really all my wrap up is. So, yeah. And then Kendra says, I was really happy for myself, but I did it. I just really hope this workout video leads to more workout videos. And that's how it ends. I was actually pleasantly surprised because the Girls Next Door workout DVD had a 4.5 out of 5.
I am shocked because anytime Girls Next Door itself, like if I go to look something at, it's like 1 star.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, I know it's not prestige television, you guys. I'm not saying it should get more, but that's just what I'm used to.
And 75% were 5-star reviews.
Damn.
Yeah. 11% were 4-star reviews, 9% 3-star reviews, 2% were 2-star reviews, and 3% were 1-star reviews. And these are so tiny. I'm going to put on my glasses. You guys get to see Nerd Bridget. It's a rare occurrence.
I love a glasses moment.
Oh, they're kind of dirty. All right. The first one. This is from, should I say who wrote them?
Might as well. They put it out there.
Posh Becky. Fantastic workout. Great fun. This was written October 21st, 2007. If you like to watch The Girls Next Door, you will love this workout. It's not just another celebrity fad, ditzy, boring workout. On the contrary, it is actually pretty challenging. You start with a 15-minute full body routine, toning with Holly. You'll need a stability ball and hand weights. This is very beginner friendly and beginner could start here. This is not to say that advanced exercisers should skip this program. This is actually a great toning program which will warm you up nicely for the next 15 minutes with Bridget. I was really surprised how hard Bridget's section was. It is actually a pretty hardcore kickboxing interval program. Phew, I was sweating by the end of this section. The final 10 minutes were instructed by Kendra, and although this is horribly edited, starting with some silly dance moves, which are supposed to only watch, I guess.
Maybe it was only horribly edited for Kendra's part because they just didn't have a lot to work with at the end of the day.
Maybe.
Or does she mean the whole video? When you said horribly edited, I thought she meant the whole video. I was like, oh.
No, she's talking about Kendra's part. It goes on a 10-minute cardio martial arts session with jump ropes and different punches and kicks. And phew, you will sweat, especially if you put it together with Holly and Bridget's routine. In conclusion, if you put all these routines together, you will get a really great full body workout that will kick your butt. Or you could do one routine a day if you're pressed for time or if you're a beginner and really unfit. The best bit with this video is the homey feel of it. You actually feel like you're working out with one of your girlfriends. Holly, Bridget, and Kendra come with incredibly encouraging comments and actually want to do this all the way through. And make you want to actually do this all the way through and pick it up the next day, although you should be rather sore after all the hard work. I'm pretty sure that if you stick with this program, it will get you into shape.
Nice.
This one's from Samuel J. Putnam. I love The Girls Next Door, and the workout DVD is great. The workouts are short, 15-minute segments, so even if you have a little time during the day to work out, if you squeeze one of these in, you'll get an effective workout. Holly's workout is probably my favorite because she talks to you a lot while doing the workout, and you kind of forget you're working out. They are really fun workouts, too. I definitely recommend this DVD to anyone who is looking for a good, fun workout or is just a fan of the girls.
Cute.
Susan Olmstead from The Girls Next Door workout Unexpected Success. I love The Girls Next Door, but when this DVD was given to me as a gift, I didn't really think that there would be much to the workouts. I was wrong. They make it a casual yet effective workout like you're at the gym with close friends, and the exercises really do work. This one is from Dance, Dance, Dance. I never thought I would enjoy a Girls Next Door DVD, but I do. I go to work out with it for free, and I like Kendra's routine the best because you don't need any equipment to get in the routine. For the other two girls, you do. My only complaint is the girls' shorts are way too short. Holly's is the only workout worthwhile. I found the workouts on my cable on-demand channel last night, flipping channels with my fiance. I found that in doing Holly's workout this morning, I feel motivated and energized. Holly's workout is really the only worthwhile one in the group, and I would purchase the DVD solely for Holly's workout. Kendra is a joke. No offense, but it was literally laughable watching her gyrate for 5 minutes by herself. And though the boot camp workout is okay, it seems like a final in PE class in junior high.
Final in PE class. Thanks, but damn.
This one's from Val Rye. Just okay. I love this show, but this is far from a real workout. Holly and Bridget's workouts are good for days when I just don't feel like getting any cardio done. If you're just doing these videos, I mean, it's better than nothing, but you have to get in your cardio too. As for Kendra's workout, what the fuck? Her dancing for 2 minutes was just stupid and awkward.
Oh no.
This one's from Yvonne B. Bridget needs to do the workout. I think it's great to be able to endorse a product, but you should also be a user of the thing as well. Bridget Marquardt is obviously not doing her workout or any of the workouts on this tape on a regular basis. Stand behind your product. Use it.
What in the actual fuck?
This is the kind of bullshit I'm talking about that Kevin's put me through for years and years and years. This is from Allison Fotheringham. Dumbest video ever. Waste of money. Didn't even break a sweat doing this. Majority of the time the camera zoomed in on their asses. Men would like this video.
Is that Julie?
This one's from Stephen Robert Focassi. Bought this with expectations that are not met, so I'm willing to get it off my hands for cheap. It is just a workout video. No nudity, unlike the series. Unless you have a perverted imagination, then hey, buy my copy for less.
I think he thought he was buying something else. Like, I think he thought it was a porn, like, in disguise as a workout video.
Yeah.
And it grosses me out. It reminds me of when we were doing the Girls Next Door coffee table book. We hadn't got a publisher, hadn't picked it up yet, but I was just kind of floating the idea, and Hef goes, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how the bookstores would feel about nudity. And I remember just feeling like a slap in the face because there was like a format for the type of book I wanted to do. Like Paris Hilton had done a book like that. The Entourage show had a book like that. Like there was a very specific format I wanted to follow. And none of it involved nudity. And I just remember feeling like, why the fuck does everything we do have to involve nudity? Like,
yeah, well, and then this review was written in August 31st of 2016.
Damn.
Yeah, so he's a little late to the party too.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas C. Henry. I love it so much. This workout video is amazing. It works so well. It's so much fun, and you feel a connection with Holly, Bridget, and Kendra.
It just goes to show, like, you can't please everybody. Like, there's some people who really genuinely connected with what we were trying to make, and some people it's just not the right thing for.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
This one's from BT, and the subject line is Bridget. Couldn't Madison and Kendra have worked with Bridget and been there visually during Bridget's part so that the workout could have been continuous? I don't really get that, though.
I mean, it is continuous if you just keep playing them.
Yeah. This one is from Susie D. As promised. Arrived as when promised. I don't use the workout, but have and liked it. I turn it on for background sounds because I missed the series.
That's cute.
Yeah.
We're happy we could be there for you.
This is from LOB. Rather disappointing, but eye candy is still there. Don't even try to imagine this as any serious workout potential. The irresistible question is undeniably this. Did any of the girls even take themselves seriously acting out their bits and pieces? We may never know.
Well, now you know, because we're telling you.
Yeah.
We're so happy to keep you updated and answer all your burning questions.
Kevin L. Ryan. No nudity in video. For anyone who liked the Girls Next Door DVDs, this is okay, but the workouts are so-so, and the girls are never nude. What's the point?
Can you imagine buying a Girls Next Door DVD and sitting through it just for the nudity?
No.
Porn was rare back then.
I guess.
Damn, people are desperate. Jack off to a shadow.
This one is from Alexandria. Best workout video I have thus far. I love this workout video. It's a great toning. You need minimal equipment, and the instructors talk to you the whole time. Sure, they're a little plastic looking and having slightly annoying voices, but that doesn't really matter. I feel the results the next day, even when stretching. Probably not the best video for advanced exercisers, but great if you're an immediate to beginner. I think she meant intermediate.
Thanks for the review.
This is the only workout DVD that I will ever use in my home because I've actually gotten results from it.
Aw, that's nice.
This is from Rachel. Good quick workout. I bought the DVD because I had been doing Holly's workout on demand from my cable company, and I really liked it. I'm not sure if you would get results if this was your only form of exercise, but I go running, do crunches, and then do Holly's workout, and I seriously see results. I also like Bridget's workout, but it's a little bit harder. I was expecting Kendra's to be the best because she seems to be the sportiest and the most in shape, but it's not that great. The first couple of minutes are all her dancing around, and then there's some kickboxing and stuff, and I just couldn't get into it. All in all, it's a good DVD if you're looking for a quick workout to add it to your daily routine.
Those are some interesting reviews.
Yeah. This is from Lee Whiteside. Strictly exercise. After seeing these girls on TV, I was expecting more TNA. They are wearing typical workout clothes for the most part. One is wearing a camouflage outfit.
The fact that people expected us to be working out nude,
right,
blows my mind. Like, maybe it shouldn't blow my mind. Like, maybe some of you listeners are out there thinking, bitch, what did you think people were going to think? But it blows my mind.
It blows my mind too.
Sorry, I wasn't squatting on a dick.
But he goes on to say, the exercise sessions appear as though they could be effective. Each of the 3 sessions is about 15-minute long. It looks like a low-impact aerobic exercise movement with a dash of yoga included every now and then. Nothing too fancy. I was wondering why they weren't working out in at least bikinis. Jesus. Oh, you're so confused, Lee?
Lee's still trying to figure it out.
We'll let him keep trying to figure it out. Anyway, they go on, but yeah, I think those are the highlights.
So I think as far as best and worst for this episode, I think we all know what the worst is. And I bet we're going to have the same worst.
Yeah.
The food shaming.
Yes.
I mean,
it's 100%.
When I rewatched this for my YouTube after not seeing it for like 15 years plus, my jaw was on the floor. It's by far the worst.
It is. And I've been complaining about it the whole time we've been talking about this. I was complaining about it when we were filming it. I've complained about it since, and he doesn't understand how it's affected me to this day. Like, people still call me the fat one. People still talk about me being overweight. People leave comments on our workout video about me not even using the product.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one that worked out the most out of the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Like, I still get it to this day.
So crazy. I think my best is just having the opportunity to thrive at something when nobody expected me to thrive at it. Because obviously, like, I'm the least athletic, I'm the clumsiest, but because I stayed true to the type of workouts I like to do and was prepared and professional, even to the point where Kevin was giving me compliments on it after the fact, like, that felt really good because I feel like in that world, it was just like I didn't feel seen very often.
Yeah.
So that was really great. And it just felt good to finally have like hard work and preparation pay off for once.
Yeah, you definitely nailed it.
Thanks.
And I feel like for me, it's just having this kind of opportunity, like doing my own workout video, I thought was very exciting. And even though they made it very much, it's all about Kendra's thing, I felt like it was very much my thing too, low-key, under the radar. And I was really excited to have the opportunity, would have loved to have the opportunity to do a different one after that. Yeah. And I think it was also, like you said, you stayed true to yourself. I feel like I really stayed true to myself too. And I was like, no, I'm not going to let them change who I am or like lie to my audience about what I do to get here or 100%. What they should do to get here. So, and I feel like I've stood by that still to this day. So it's, I think we were very true in the whole thing, like stuck to who we are and
totally
what resonates with us.
Like, they can do whatever they want with the editing, but like who we were and, you know, what our principles and work ethic are, that shines through.
I think so. Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah. And the next episode.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what we're going to have next week. Maybe we'll have an interview. Maybe we'll have an episode. But the next episode we're going to get to eventually is the season 2 finale.
Can you believe it? We're done with 2 seasons.
I can't believe we're done with 2 seasons and that we've been doing this podcast for almost 2 years.
I know.
Like, time fucking flew. I feel like we just started this.
I do too.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot more stuff to wrap up for season 2. Like, we'll go through and do the deleted scenes, and hopefully we'll get an interview in here or 2, and, you know, like a whole season wrap up. I think we should do like a Q&A wrap up too. Like any unanswered questions.
Yeah, about season 2.
Yeah.
We love your spicy questions.
So make sure you're submitting your questions for that.
Yeah, you can ask us like on our Instagram comments on the Girls Next Level Instagram, or if you're a Patreon member, you can ask
on the Discord.
Yeah, on the Discord. Our Patreon is patreon.com/girlsnextlevel. If you want to join, we love it over there. We love you guys. And we will see you guys next week.
Yeah. Oh, and check out our merch shop. It's girlsnextdoor.
Girls Next Level.
Oh, sorry. Check out our merch shop. It's girlsnextlevel.shop.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.